So yeah, man.
Well, Jeffrey, man, that fucking box is pretty cool. Sorry if I'm cursing on your show already.
No, 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 no. It's fine. It's fine, man. It's totally fine. So yeah. So what's up, man?
What's up, Jeff? How's it going, man?
Oh, good, man.
It's
How
good.
are you?
I'm doing well, dude.
We were just talking before when we started recording. So we were throwing out some gems of how everything's coming together for you in this
man,
like pandemic. So
I feel like I've basically done 10 minutes of an episode without
Yeah,
being recorded
already.
this entire time, but that's just the way it goes sometimes, right?
yeah.
But
So
dude,
how you feeling, man?
I'm doing well, man. We're just, this is a different location. I'm outside. We're outside the job right now, right?
The job behind it, because we actually we were going back and forth with a direct message.
Yeah.
So I told you, let's do it simply. Come around with your car and
Yep.
let's meet behind the building that is actually up front to
Yeah.
the one we work in. So
Yeah.
to make things more simpler, and we are now here in your car.
Live and direct, coming
Live-
at you. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing you can do about it at this point.
It's all or nothing.
yeah. We're going for it.
So, man, I wanted to ask you,
Mhm.
like, we spoke before we started recording about your friend and everything. Like, how do you guys end up meeting? Because I know a little bit of the story from all the recordings you have
Yeah.
done on YouTube, but I want you to, rebuttal a little bit and tell me how you guys met. And Linderhurst, right?
Yeah, we met in Lindenhurst. My friend Christian. So, if for anybody who's listening, me and my friend Christian do this podcast called LI on the Rise.
Yeah, LI on the Rise,
Yeah.
please, people.
It's
Tune in.
Yeah, if you'd like. But my friend Christian, I know the exact story of how we met, and it was in 10th grade, Mr. Posselt's history class.
Oh, Purcell.
Yeah, Mr.
It's always a history class.
It's always a history class because that there's always the best vibes in history class.
Oh, you think
You know,
so?
I feel like too, yeah, because sometimes you get that cool history teacher
Mm-hmm.
where he's just like super down to earth. Like my one teacher came in, the history teacher came in one day. He's like, "Anybody got a lighter?" There's a bunch of 15-year-olds in a room. You know what I'm saying? Ask him if anybody's got a lighter. And then he goes, "I swear on everything." He goes, "What? None of you smoke crack?" I swear on my life, that's what he said. Christian could vouch for this story.
Yeah.
One day I got to get him up here to talk to you. That'd be freaking hilarious.
Oh, no, that would be awesome, though.
Yeah, but we're sitting there, and then he's like, literally, I'm in one desk, and he's literally to the desk to my right. And then one day he taps me on the shoulder, and he goes, "Yo, bro, do you smoke?" Just like that. And I'm like, "Nah, man, but I drink a little bit." And he goes, "Oh, word. And then he doesn't talk to me for like 20 minutes.
Wow.
And then we get like paired up as like a group. No, we don't get paired up. We continued the conversation, and then like we just started talking and vibing out, and then that was day one. And then from there, we just kept talking, hanging out. We ended up having a few mutual friends here and there. And then it turns out, like, now I'm a huge smoker and I never drink. Anybody at Acorn listening to this? I don't smoke. So just, like, you know what? Don't fucking rando drug test me. But, yeah. And it's just from there. And it's been about, probably about 10 years now.
10 years since you guys met.
Since I met him, yeah. So,
Wow.
That's fucking time flies.
Yeah, and also a little bit of our other story on how we met.
Yeah.
We met at, well, you mentioned the name already, at Acorn.
Yeah, Acorn.
We met there. In my first encounter with you, we were on Line 7. I don't know if you know of Line 7.
Yeah, Line 7, yep.
Yeah, we were with a bunch of kids. You were doing the afternoon, well, the night gate.
The 4:30 or the 4 o'clock to 12 or whatever.
To 12
yeah.
or whatever. And we hit it off so quickly that at the time that we actually were done with the shift,
Yeah.
I was like, not mesmerized. It's not the word. It's like I was so encapsulated with what we talked about that I felt that I have known you for years.
Wow, that means a lot.
Yeah, no,
That means a
I'm
lot.
serious, and I don't BS people because
Yeah.
I don't know if you know.
No, that's one thing about you I've always known. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah,
you're
no, it's
you're,
okay, it's
you're
okay.
honest.
Yeah.
You're honest, and that's for anybody. If there's any girls talking to Jeffrey, just know this man is not a liar. Okay.
No, and I felt like that, and I, without not even thinking about doing anything as we were doing right now. But when I saw you, man, and when we're done, man, I wish I could have another conversation. And as a matter of fact, hey, man, we're coming to work right next.
Yeah.
The very next day. So
Yeah.
So it was symbiotic, but also very profound when we started talking to each other.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like that's cool. Because I remember,
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact like conversations we had, but I remember talking to you,
Mhm.
and I remember thinking, I guess not everybody here sucks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like it's a rough ride with some of these people here.
My gosh, man! I think the world intelligence does not exist in that
Ooh,
place.
man.
It's just, man. I don't know about you how you feel, but I don't need to dive into the personality of some of those people. But boy,
It's not worth it.
it's not even worth it, man. And just to tell you that we work with a bunch of interesting people in there.
That's the nicest way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how you feel about that, but man, it's just like I remember. I don't mean to make this whole thing about work.
Don't worry about it.
Because when I saw you just recently, it was like 4 months ago, like or 5, and
Yeah.
you were having like a rough day, and you were so this is the thing about you that I will always say to anyone. You can be in the highest pressure environment, or you could be pissed, but you will be so elegant
Yeah.
in the way you deliver how you are as an angry person.
Yeah.
When you're having a moment of anger or despise or despair,
Yeah.
you say, "Hey, dude, how are you? This is nothing against you, but I don't feel very good."
Yeah.
You will say like that straight up, and I remember coming up to you and you said that, and I said, "Okay, dude, I just wanted to see
Yeah.
how are you and leave you alone." But please, people out there, don't bother Alan when he's angry, because he's not. He will be very kind to you, but please leave him alone for the rest of the day.
I appreciate that glowing message because I try as hard as I can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This job, we have, especially in the position I'm in, like, just to get a little bit into it, I work on the machines, this,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
And it gets a little bit hectic where, I don't mean to name drop, but the supervisors have you scatterbrain going all over the place. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And it can get a little heated in my mind. And I know I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I know people
Mhm.
can see when I'm angry.
Mhm.
So the thing is I'm not that person. So I know I'm portraying this angry person, but when you talk to me and you come up to me when I'm angry, I want to still be that same version of myself that is always seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you come up to me in a situation like that, I always want to give you the courtesy of the hello and the how are you. But
Yeah.
at the same time, when my mind is ready to effing snap,
Mhm.
I just have to say, you know what? I have to, like, there's nothing against you. The whole thing I said to you. It's nothing
Mhm.
against you.
Mhm.
Hello, how are you? But I just got to go home and punch a hole in my wall. Even
Tell
not
me.
literally, but you know
No,
what I'm saying?
for sure.
So, I appreciate you for noticing that and all the kind things you said. That's awesome because I do try my best to be the best version of myself every single day.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out,
No.
and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. And I'm just glad that somebody like you, who I consider a very intuitive person, understands entirely where I was coming from.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
For sure, because a lot of I don't mean to bash the younger generation,
No,
but
trust me, I know.
yeah,
I
but
know exactly. I feel you.
yeah, but they don't understand that part.
No.
And since I've gotten older and I know what the deal is inside of that place, and believe me, I have the same feelings as you do with the management in there. It's just I don't know what goes on in there in the morning, but I can only tell by the people that come out that it's not even as great as it is at the night shift.
Yeah.
Because the night shift is another realm of just BS.
Yeah.
And somebody that works there with me, him, he's the line leader.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't mean to name drop.
No, trust me, I know who you're talking about. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a great. Everybody should remain nameless for
Yeah.
the sake of this recording. But I told him from the beginning. I said, because I felt in him like he was a good guy, and I said, dude, this is BS. This is bullshit all over the place. So don't get your your hopes for anything here, because everything is gonna be like not as you planned. So
It'll chew you up and spit you out.
yeah, they will.
That's exactly how this place is.
Yeah.
And, it's a shame because, like I know I said before, there's a lot of knuckleheads working here,
Yeah.
but there's some really good people working here.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So that's and that's the balance. But the thing is that these good people, I think, don't even necessarily have the chance to be good people because they're in here, because they have to deal with scattered-brained supervisors, to be nicely put it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a shame because you could see some of the best people go in there with a smile on their face, and 8 hours later they're leaving beaten down.
Beaten down.
So and it's a little bit different. I can't really speak on, I guess, people who are the operators, so to speak, because they kind of have like the same type of shift. But someone such as yourself, who's a line attendant, someone such as myself, who is a cleaner, washer, mechanic type of deal.
Yeah.
You know, there's a little bit more you got to deal with. Like, especially the line guy, you're getting told to go everywhere. Go do this, do that, lift this, move that. You're moving skids, you're moving this and that. And then for me, my job can go from doing nothing to literally 3 lines are done. You got to do everything. Take it all down as fast as you possibly can. Go, go, go. And then you're ready to just fucking, I guess the only way to describe it is beat your head into a wall.
Yeah.
So
if you're not careful enough, and you know, if you don't use your head. But as for me, you even told me like when we were starting to meet each other, and that was 4 years ago, dude. I never thought that we would be there for so long. I think you came in at like in 2018, 2019, right?
I think it's been like almost 3 years. 3 years
for you, and
and
for me it's 4.
4 years. So wow, yeah.
So it's been quite a minute. So and you even told me, Jeff, this could possibly be our careers if we don't do anything drastically or take a risk. And I said, dude, I don't know about that, but I don't see this as being my career.
No,
but
yeah,
but you know, and also with that, I just was like a little apprehensive when I saw you, and I said, man, don't. I remember seeing you, and then right after the next day, I said, man, don't let it. I don't know if you remember this, but I told you, man, don't let this place get the best of you, because they don't care.
You know why I remember this is because you probably said that to me 7 or 8 times.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I remember most of the times you've told me that, because I do let it get the better of me sometimes. And it's a shame.
Yeah.
It's an absolute shame. But you know what? I don't even want to speak on.
Yeah, I don't. But just to end it, just to end the part from our job, it was like I went to the HR department, and I was actually complaining about, you know, this pandemic, and by the way, we don't have the disease, so that's why we were doing
absolutely. Yeah, no, I am totally clean. Temperature is taken daily.
Daily, I know. But yeah, you know, I went there, and to make a long story very short, I went over there, and the lady was such a woman who was, I don't know if she was bored or anything, and I was complaining about how we were treated and all that. And she was telling me, I was written up, by the way. This is how they treat you in there. I was written up for not coming on Sundays for overtime. And I said, look, I don't feel it's necessary for me to come. Well, this pandemic is actually at its absolute peak. So I don't think it's necessary for me to come on Sundays. And by the way, I don't need the overtime.
Yeah.
I'm that good with the money that I've earned that I don't need it. So I went there, and she said, well, the business, I said, well, I don't care about the business. I care about my health. Then, well, if you're so unhappy, this is what she said, if you're so unhappy, why don't you resign?
Yeah.
And I said, what in the world is wrong with you? And she kind of stood there. Well, she just sat there and kind of looked bored, dude.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, these people are not even joking. And then I commented something that she was reading, because I'm a reader as well. I read a lot of books.
Very nice.
So I said, hey, I hope you're having a good time with your reading. It seems like pretty interesting. And she said, well, this is not a very good book to read, or a very fun book to read. And I said, wow, this girl is an asshole today. And I said, and I didn't say nothing for the rest of the day, and I just went back to work.
No, man. I'm sorry you had that experience.
No, I'm telling you, man, you have it in any sort of department in here. But and if that's what you went through, imagine me, what I go through.
Dude,
but
man, yeah, that's rough. And you know what? For all the people at home listening, just so you know, there's no fucking weekends anymore.
No.
So this
can you believe that?
Like, so it's like we don't even have enough work to work on weekends. But what, 3 months ago you went up there or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. We're the peak of the pandemic, I guess. So from the peak of the pandemic until now, they've already annexed overtime. So that whole conversation, she was a bitchin'. Fuck you, because you know what? You're an idiot now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, she not you. She is. You know.
She is. Yeah. And I'm trying to be all nice about it, but then they the most wonderful thing is that I went to the supervisor, which I never talked to, by the way, when I have to complain.
Yeah.
Then she says, I said to her something very logical. Well, I've never read the policy book that this company gives.
Yeah.
Then she pulls out this binder with 300 pages. She just took it out and brought it down just for the sake of just saying, Well, this guy, after he sees this, he's not gonna even bother to read it, which
Yeah.
is true. I'm not gonna read a 300
It's
page.
not interesting.
No, come on, man.
Yeah, like
Just so I could agree with whatever it says? No, man, come on.
yeah,
But she did that so that I could,
Yeah.
piss off and do something.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're done with the job part.
Yeah.
So, no, but let's talk about your show, man. Your
Oh,
show
man.
is the one thing that I wanted to speak on because your show is just wonderful.
Man, I
It's ju-
appreciate that.
Yeah, it's 50 episodes in, and I think to the pandemic you have stopped right now.
It's
right?
pandemic and unforeseeable things that I necessarily don't want to put on a recording.
Yeah,
you know what
I
I'm
know,
saying?
I
But the
know.
pandemic, for anybody that's wants to know, the pandemic is a huge part.
Yeah, it's a huge.
It's a
part.
huge part,
Yeah.
and also too and both of our cameras broke.
Yeah.
So that was another big part too. But that's
Yeah.
something we could save up for camera. I'm gonna have to leave everybody hanging. There's things that that can't be spoken on. But you know what? Don't worry, because I want to just say, if anybody that's listening to this and ends up visiting the show that I do, first of all, I appreciate you wholeheartedly,
Yeah.
because that's amazing to me, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you for watching so many episodes too.
Yeah,
I
I
appreciate that
do.
big time.
I do.
But for anybody who's listening, just know, no matter what the foreseeable future has for me and the show, I will be coming back.
Yeah.
I will be coming back. There will be more episodes, and I will continue.
Yeah.
And that's all I gotta say
Oh,
about that.
Thank
But
you.
yeah,
Thank you for saying that to the fans,
Yeah.
whomever they are.
yeah,
you
I
know.
appreciate it.
But yeah, I just been watching it, and for anyone out there who wants to rewatch the episodes that are already in on
Yeah.
YouTube, just please do it. You will have fun, and
Absolutely.
you guys actually did it a very funny way too. Not funny, but very interestingly.
Mhm.
You had the artist only when you were actually lacking the camera,
Yeah.
the camera gear. You actually were very creative and just presented the artist.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the main thing to focus on. Actually.
Absolutely.
It's about their time, not.
Yeah.
That's what I took from it. It's
No,
not
you took the right thing out of it.
Yeah.
This is about the artist. It's not about me or Christian, because
Mhm.
I want to let everybody know too. We have not taken a dime from anyone to be
Yeah,
interviewed.
that's another.
We have not
thing.
taken a dime, and we've never once made anybody feel uncomfortable. And the
No.
thing is like, what we do is we want to try to change things up. So what happened is we had the adversity of one of our camera breaking, and we
Mhm.
lost being broken, and we lost the 2 shots. So we said, you know what? Let's take us out of the picture. We'll just be the voices, and we'll have the artist presented, and they can have their spotlight.
Yeah.
And that's what we went with for like the last couple episodes.
Yeah.
And then we unfortunately everything happened.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, the guys didn't miss anything by doing that. It actually
you.
more. All I care about you guys is the voices, which is
Mhm.
actually very like. If you have watched the earlier episodes, I've seen image of you and
Mhm.
Christian. So at that point towards the end, well, not towards the end, it hasn't ended, but you know,
yeah. No,
I know your guys' face, your guys' physique, so
Yeah.
I don't need to hear your voices. Although I would love to see you guys.
yeah,
but,
yeah.
But I just enjoy the fact that I'm just watching the artist and it's all about him.
Absolutely. And what if I told you that's exactly what we thought of? We were like, dude,
Oh,
people-
really?
People have already saw us. What's the point of us being on the camera anymore?
Yeah.
We literally had that same exact come to light moment. And it was like, because the artist, and also too, one reason we did that is because we wanted to shorten the episodes instead of being like a fucking hour-long episode.
Mhm.
We were just like, let's try to make it a half hour, 30 minutes, something like that, just
Mhm.
so we can get as much main information in.
Mhm.
And I feel like if we were off camera, it's less of us trying to play for the camera. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Because,
yeah.
when you're on camera, you're just like, let me make this joke here so everybody can see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
When in reality, and it's not about my joke, it's about that guy's album. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's sometimes I get lost in the sauce. That's a classic lost in the sauce moment. And
Yeah.
we kind of cut it out a little bit.
Yeah, and one thing that I will say about all your guests, well, yeah, all of them, that they're very grateful not only for the opportunity to be on your show,
Mhm.
but you guys are also giving them back the same kind of gratitude
Mhm.
for their time as well to be on your show,
Absolutely.
which is one thing that many younger people don't have nowadays
You're right.
to acknowledge their own like gratitude for the time that they give out each other, because man, I'm telling you, I've experienced so much not to dive into the personal, but
Mhm.
so much death right now in my in my family. It's
Sorry
worth
to hear that, my friend.
Yeah, my uncle just passed away.
Very
2
sorry
months.
to hear that.
And he was very, and thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that made me think like, man, you gotta be more grateful, more humble about who we are and what we do and who we get time to share, a conversation with, a good drink or whatever.
Anything.
Anything.
Literally anything.
Anything.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel
So, but that I had to mention about your show, that they're very grateful. And not only they're talented too.
Oh yeah, some of them are very talented.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, fuck. All of them are very talented.
Yeah, all of them.
But the thing is that what we because I'm not going to talk about their gratefulness because I don't know what they're grateful for.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're even grateful at all, I appreciate.
Yeah.
But the show doesn't happen if they don't show up.
Yeah.
So I'm extremely grateful that they even walk through the door.
Yeah.
And the fact that, I get everybody likes to talk about themselves, and that's the whole episode is them talking about themselves and us, like, softballing them questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though sometimes the questions I asked aren't exactly softballed questions. But, the fact that they even come there to wherever if they're coming from out east or whatever, I'll give a little bit of a taste, to Copeg, Long Island, where we host our show.
Yeah.
The fact that they take their time to drive and come there to get interviewed by people who aren't really anything. You know what I'm saying? Because we aren't anything. Granted, and we're in the local scene and everything's this and that or whatever, but it's nothing. It's nothing without these people either. And it's just, it means to me, so I want to just let people know, I know I'm rambling, but it just means so much to me that anybody would take their time to have a conversation with me.
Yeah.
And that including yourself.
Oh, thank you.
And I appreciate.
I thank you for doing it.
Yeah. Oh no, please come on. You already know that, man. You hear me right now? I'm just going off because it's like I haven't been on a microphone in so long, so I am seizing this carpe diem. Seize the day. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And it's just I appreciate it. You, them, everything.
Yeah, no, thank you for doing this because we've been planning this for such a long time, and you have felt so bad about not coming on and for holding me up.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I turned my notifications off of Instagram because of the LI on the rise.
Yeah.
So I turned all my notifications off. So what happens is I'll give a little insight to why we're doing this now and not 2 weeks ago or a week ago or whatever. Is because that day you messaged me, I probably got about 16 DMs from a bunch of people. It's weird. My phone's strange. I either get hit up habitually or nobody contacts me. Oh. So happens to that day, a lot of people contacted me. And then on Instagram, I don't really scroll up and down. So the thing is your message dropped down so far low. And then one day I was like, damn. And you messaged me back again. I was like, what the fuck? And then I messaged you back and I sent you this story. I'm like, damn, I'm an asshole. And I'm like, I literally thought I was like, I don't even think this guy wants to do this with me anymore.
No,
That's
still
how
do.
I was like, damn, I just ruined my shot.
No, don't worry about it.
I appreciate. We're here now, and that's what that's what matters.
That's what matters.
So.
No, and I'm not with this stuff like very, very hensed about being so like appointed with people because the episodes I post, they're not so close together to the point where I have to harass people in some way so that they can do the recording. I'll just hit up, and it wasn't something that I was asking you for. I was just like, hey, how are you, man?
Yeah, you always start off with, hey, how are you? And I appreciate that because not everybody does that.
No, because they go straight for the kill.
Yeah.
They just, okay, are we going to do this recording? Hey, dude, didn't you forget how are you? How's everything?
Yeah, exactly.
Because going back a little bit to the job, and I'll stop after this, they will ask you about every single thing that needs to be done, but they don't even say, hi, how are you? How's everything? It's just like, where did the courtesy of just saying hi
I know.
and how people feel came to be something that's so synonymous with just the work?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it just them or just they don't care about that? So
Yeah, it's fucking weird, man.
Yeah, even in New York after coming back from Oklahoma, it was just I was there, by the way.
Oh, how long were you in Oklahoma?
For a couple of years.
Oh, right on. Was that a good experience?
Oh, very good, man.
Right
it's
on.
such a different vibe from New York. It's
the lifestyle is probably totally
oh my God,
off the rails.
Off the rails, man. It's just Midwest sort of country, but with a little bit of hippiness to it.
Okay.
and it's very relaxed. People were super laid back, every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I was there for college, for
Oh, wow.
university. So I went there
Awesome.
to I don't know if you know this about me, 'cause I think I told you a little bit about it.
Spit it out. I'll see. I'll see what my memory bank has.
Yeah. 'Cause my college my college history was I went to Nassau between 2010 and
Okay.
2012. So after high school, we didn't have a lot of prospects. You know, where
Okay.
everybody's like off to college and everybody's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
somewhere. I don't know if you experienced that when you
I've
graduated.
never been to college.
I know you haven't,
Yeah. So
But I know, like, did you graduate from Linderhoods?
I graduated. Yeah, barely, but I graduated.
You did well
Yeah.
enough just to graduate.
Shout out Miss Ketchum for passing me on my final test to let me graduate.
Oh wow!
Big shout out.
What's her name?
Miss Ketchum.
Miss Ketchum. Thank you for
Yeah,
doing that. 'Cause-
Absolutely. Oh my God, I needed it.
Yeah, but did you find that everybody was going somewhere after high
Yeah,
school?
you know what? Yeah, there was a good portion of people I knew that were going. Luckily, my friend group, not too many people went out of state college.
Okay.
A lot of them stayed local, Nassau, Stony Brook,
Yeah.
Suffolk, stuff
Mhm.
like that. So a good portion of my friends, but other people that I was acquainted with or people that were my friends too, a lot of my friends went into the military.
Oh, wow.
A good portion, and a few of them went to out-of-state colleges that I can recall. But you know what? It's funny because it's like it's been so long now. It's like they're all back. Everybody's living a life again. Like
Yeah.
it's strange because you go for that like early 20s, and then
Mhm.
you're like nobody's around, and then it's just
Yeah.
like now everybody's back on Long Island. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah, after leaving for quite some
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
and then they come back, and it's just the same person, but some time has gone by.
yeah, exactly.
So, so, so wait. Did you have any? I wouldn't say plans on what to do, but did you say like after graduation? Well, I'm not going to university. I don't see
Yeah.
it in my future. Did you say that
Yeah.
to yourself?
Oh, I said that in the 9th grade. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
really? That
That's-
young?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was it about it that that you didn't think it was
I'm
good?
I'm not a big fan of institutionalized education. Believe it or not.
Which is fine, by the
Yeah.
way. It's such a. It's not something that you do for knowledge nowadays. It's
Yeah.
a tradition.
Yeah, it's a tradition, and it's also, I guess, in some fields, it's a
Mhm.
necessity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, you can learn all this stuff or whatever, or like, I don't know. I really like hands-on learning in the
Mhm.
sense of like, okay, hate to talk about it, but Acorn, the job. I was a line guy such as yourself, but I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? This may be I'm getting kind of getting bored of this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like I tried to become a mechanic, and
Yeah.
now I'm in the beginning stages of a mechanic. But at the
Mhm.
same time, it's like I'm glad I didn't have to go to school to learn this. I could just go there and be taught by people how to disassemble, reassemble, do this, that, and the third. So I like
Mhm.
that. I personally think the education system. This is where I'm gonna get a little conspiracy theory esque. But the educational system, especially at the college level and the high school level, is extremely Eurocentric and one-sided.
Yeah.
So it's not my favorite. It's not my and I don't feel that if you want an education, you should have to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
think.
a fan.
Yeah, I think Sweden, I think, has that. They don't. They have the government pay for free for the education that
Mhm.
they have, and it's only one government, so they're actually ahead of us on that. So I understand what you're saying. It should be free.
Yeah,
It should be.
it should be. You'd think, and then like just make it like the teachers and professors get paid. You jack up the taxes a little bit in the United States, but also the thing is if you want to jack up taxes, you'll have fucking riots from everybody. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for sure. You
So-
know, not only politically, but also
Yeah.
with the citizens of this country
Yeah,
too. If you
absolutely.
do that, but so wow, man, and also that's another thing. That's why when you don't go to college, that's what you get into these jobs to learn skills.
Yeah.
I think it's a skills gap, and I thought of that too. I said, man, if somebody, I'm okay with the educational system, but we fail on how to teach younger people how
Yeah.
to use their hands and how to
Mhm.
be skilled enough to get any kind of job, you know.
Or just learn how to do your taxes, or just like
Yeah.
learn like genuinely useful real world scenario information,
Yeah.
and not y equals mx plus b.
Yeah,
You know what I
because
mean?
it's like, yeah, I know what you're referring to,
Yeah.
algebra.
Yeah.
I have no intentions of going to algebra. I've never used algebra after I graduated from NASA, and it's been like probably 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never seen anyone ever use it. I've never heard of someone ever, and I will freaking hate someone who tries to fucking use it.
Yeah, straight
So,
up.
so I don't know, man. It's just I don't think college is pointless, but boy, it's just some stuff that they teach that it's not practical, and I think they should be teaching right out of high school how to budget yourself with
Yeah.
the money that you're earning, how to pay for a car insurance,
Mhm.
how to set up a bank account,
Yep.
you know, and also how to, not what is another thing, like know how to keep a financial book, those
Yeah,
books,
exactly. Bookkeeping.
bookkeeping.
Yeah.
Thank you. So they don't teach enough of that, and they don't set up someone, with I wouldn't say this, but an accountant or something right after high school, so that they can
right.
teach us all this
Yeah.
practical stuff, because
Just-
this is what you're gonna need.
Yeah, how to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, don't get me wrong, like learning about the Revolutionary War, which I love. I love history, so I'm not going to talk too much bad about history.
Yeah.
But like, this stuff is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally PEMDAS, how to do like algebraic equations and stuff like that.
Come
You know
on,
what I'm saying?
man.
All this stuff, it's good to jog your brain and
Mhm.
learn and to keep your brain active.
Yeah.
But how much is like how much am I going to need to know what a tangent, a cosine, all this stuff is? Doesn't make any sense to me. And the
Mhm.
thing is like I do appreciate all these teachers that did teach me these things,
Mhm.
and I'm sorry that I didn't treat you as well as I should have when I was in school. But you know what? I was a little piece of shit, but it is what it is. Sorry if I'm cursing on your show.
No, it's okay,
And
man. It's
all
all explicit.
yeah, all right, cool, right
Yeah.
on. And
Yeah.
the thing is just like it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
It was not for me.
No.
And I've learned so much more out of school just by doing research on things I enjoy.
Yeah.
That's the key. Is I never was able to pinpoint what I enjoyed. Why did I get almost get 100 in history every single year, but I couldn't get a 65 in math? I liked history.
Yeah.
That's it. Simple as.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if if the teaching and education wasn't based around that type of feeling of how the students work and whatnot,
Mhm.
then it's kind of like a little bit fucking biased to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I sound ignorant to anybody listening to this, because I
Mhm.
know there's people out here that have these master degrees and everything, and that's great, and I'm happy for you. But that was for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That wasn't for me.
Mhm.
And you know what? Go out and do your thing. Be a doctor. Be a nurse. Be an electrician or whatever you want to be. But for
Yeah.
me, I'm gonna be myself.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
And you have saved a lot of money too with
That's
that.
true. That's very
yeah,
true.
because in it's skyrocket even more now with the. This is what this country is like. We have owned a lot on car loans.
Mm-hmm.
In student loans is just $1 trillion, man.
Yeah.
And I think we need to readjust the motors of how this thing should work. And it's not that I'm against school. I'm not.
No.
I'm just anti-debt. For the majority of these people that come out of school with all this debt, and then
Thousands and thousands of dollars.
yeah,
Thousands of dollars.
if not hundreds and thousands.
Depending on the school, yeah, 100%. You
and-
think of these Harvard graduates that don't get loans, that can't afford to pay the loans. Or, oh no, I'm sorry, not can't get, that have to take out loans is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
I didn't mean can't. These like, you have somebody that wants to go to Columbia
Mm-hmm.
and they're smart enough, but they can't get the right scholarships,
Yeah.
and then they have to pay $75,000 a semester out of pocket.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever Columbia is, 35, 75, I don't know what it is. I just know Columbia is a very good school.
Yeah.
And then guess what? Before they even have a chance, the fact is they're taking college to get a head start on people,
yeah.
and then they get out of college and they're 10 steps back
yeah.
because
From
they
where
can't
they started.
Exactly, but they literally thought the whole time they were getting a head start.
Yeah.
Which, great, that you have this wonderful education, good for you, but at the same time is you got a field and you're going to get a job with somebody who has the same education as you but 10 years experience. Who are they
Yeah.
going to pick?
Oh, the one with the experience.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's very strange, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of things. I feel very opinionated on this subject,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I can't sit here and tell you that I don't understand the antithesis of what I believe,
yeah.
because so many people I know, their education has helped them. And
Yeah.
and that is something I will never be able to take away from them.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's just, it has to just be for anybody who's listening, and also for you sitting here listening
Mhm.
to me. It's just literally, this is personally how I knew my life was going to have to go.
Yeah.
So
For your own sake and for your own being
yeah, my own
to
fucking sanity.
yeah, yeah, can you imagine? And not to say that you're not gonna be you're not as smart and you're not as intelligent, but I don't think I see you in the classroom setting. It just, although you're very intuitive and very
Yeah.
well spoken and everything. You just, in some people it doesn't work for them.
Yeah.
But it's not to say that they're not smart, and I think you are.
Thank you.
And well spoken too. So, and I've seen, come on, your show so many times that I
Sometimes I don't seem so well spoken.
no, sometimes it's just out of bounds and a
Yeah,
little bit like
yeah.
a little bit like, I don't know, like, do you say that, Alan?
Yeah. Sometimes you get. Sometimes the it flows out of my mouth and I just want to go rup, 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 rup,
Yeah.
and take it all back.
Yeah, but it's been
But-
recorded. You
Yeah,
know,
and it's too fucking late.
yeah, in the night.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's fine, man. And I respect your opinions of it.
I appreciate that.
And speaking of that, I'm going back to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you mentioned
Yep,
that when
that's
we
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Because I don't know. I think I'm okay with it, but since I wanted to, for the stuff that I want to do, I think it's not necessary. I think it's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Because I started as an architecture major, and then
I remember that. Yeah. I
yeah,
remember.
it wasn't cut out for me. It was just like what you said, and then I said, man, I mean, this is not for me, and I changed it to philosophy, and I stuck with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and now I'm going to do a double major, by the way. Like I'm trying to do history as well.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
that's sick. That's
Yeah.
something I can get behind wholehearted. And philosophy too.
Yeah.
The theory of things
Yeah.
is just
Mind
it's mind-boggling and it's never ending.
It's never
You
ending.
cannot, because you can literally you can come up with a theory on fucking anything.
Yeah, on everything. And the questions are endlessly interesting but never ending.
That's actually, I'm not surprised you said that because you're very like intuitive, intellectual type. So the
Mhm.
fact that you said philosophy, I'm not shocked, and I'm happy that you're choosing that because that seems like something you should do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't mean to interrupt what you were saying, but
No,
there's
no,
so
no,
many
sure.
people. How many people do you know when they go to college? They're like, what's your major? Like, I don't know yet,
Yeah.
and they're just sitting there wasting their time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or what do they call that?
Undecided.
Undecided.
Or undeclared.
Undeclared. Yeah.
yeah,
So if you're going to school undeclared and it's like you're working towards something, it's like what niche are you gonna find for yourself?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that I
Yeah.
feel like to get the most out of college is you got to have your niche.
Yeah.
You got to know what you want to learn about.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you're going in there just learning about what they want you to know,
Mm-hmm.
you're fucking wasting your time.
And money too.
Which
is very important.
that brings it all the way back around to
Well,
the first part I was saying. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? You're
yeah,
right.
The money. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's just it's like you said, like you knowing who you were when in high school and me knowing who I was since I was a kid.
Mhm.
But and also there's another thing that we have to throw in. Just because you thought of it when you were 9 years old, it doesn't mean that it will mean anything when you're 25.
Yeah.
So for me, it didn't mean anything to become what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
'Cause in DR, I'm from there.
Yeah.
I'm Dominican. And by the way, I don't look Dominican
No,
at all.
You straight up look like you're from Spain, like from the homeland Spain.
Yeah, and people also get so confused by the way I speak English because it's not an English that you will hear from a Dominican.
No, it's
Speak-
very articulate.
Yeah, well, I gotta say that I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm kind of a nerd.
No, I feel you. Me too.
And people, it's so famously degrading in high school when
Mhm.
people call you that. But
Yeah.
the thing is, what a nerd means, or an egghead, or even if you want to pursue something intelligent,
Mm-hmm.
people will mock you for it. But
Insane, right?
insane. But what it means is that you're passionate about books,
Oh,
films,
man.
comic
Yeah.
books, and I think you guys are, and you have expressed that on
Yeah.
your show too.
Yeah, I'm a. If you look right behind you in this car, there's
Yeah.
about 4,000 baseball cards.
Yeah, I can see that.
So you know what I'm saying? My car's disgusting on the floor and stuff, but those boxes are
Oh, don't
filled.
worry about it.
I am a baseball card nerd.
Yeah,
And I know exactly where you're coming from. And people will look at you and be like, oh, you collect baseball cards? And oh, you read books? Oh, this and that. How about this, asshole? Why don't you come to my fucking face and say it to me, and I'll beat the fucking nerd into you. You know what I'm saying? So don't, you know what I mean? And that's just getting hostile. I know that's not you. I just, my brain switches when people mock other people for things.
Yeah.
It's like, you mean to tell me you don't like anything? You know, come on. Come on, son.
Come on.
Just because I wake up every Saturday to watch soccer at 7 o'clock in the morning doesn't mean I'm a loser. It's something I enjoy.
Yeah.
Just like you reading comic books, watching movie, film, understanding stuff, philosophy.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You enjoy that. Who are you to laugh at me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, just do something productive and let the other people be who they are, you know.
Yeah.
And you let it be and but yeah, that's how I was and how I was presented with everything. So yeah, I'm not your typical Dominican. I'm not as loud as the other ones.
Que lo que, money. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, que lo que,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like I said sometimes, like, dude, can you tone it down a
Yeah.
little bit? We are in the company of Americans right now, so, you know.
No, that just shows how respectful of a person you are
Yeah.
right off the bat.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's so funny because you guys, the ones who speak the language, when you guys go to our countries, you try your very best to learn the language at least to
A couple
say,
saying and phrases,
And
just to
phrases.
get you by at least.
Yeah, and I always tell you guys and whomever, just learn the question, where is the bathroom? Where, like,
Sorry,
no, it's okay, man.
we're gonna have to edit that out. But,
Yeah, the most important questions I always teach you guys. Well, I don't go around teaching.
Yeah,
but
no, but when you have the opportunity.
Yeah, when you have the opportunity, I say, where's the bathroom? Where is this place? Sort and sort.
Yeah,
and just
exactly.
sort it out with that kind of question, because the bathroom is just the most important
Yeah,
thing
it's like
that you can ever ask.
he's sitting there panicking, like you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
like and they're so. There's some. I'm not saying that everybody's bad, but there's some bad and awful people, you know, in every country. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
degrading anyone,
No,
but
you're right.
yeah. So when you go to this establishment, it's important to ask that if you're
Yeah.
really in a hurry. So
Exactly.
so yeah, and I came here when I was 15 too.
Wow,
so
right on.
Yeah, so it was hard at the beginning, but I grew up like that, you know. I grew up watching shows, MTV, MTV
Yeah,
Raps
in Dominican Republic.
in the Dominican.
Yeah,
Because my dad had this sense of spending money on great cable service.
yeah. Okay, right. Hey, I appreciate that.
Yeah, so it allowed me to be dodged of with all this culture.
Yeah, it all gets downloaded onto your head. Like,
Yeah, because you guys asked that on your show too. How, who were your influences? But
Yeah.
but then your guests get into, I don't know how they began and who they start watching and what they started listening to, and then you guys go into the 90s. It's always the 90s, always the time frame
Yeah.
that you guys always go back to.
Yeah.
Is that a
Yeah, it's like that's what they call because I'll let people know we do a lot of hip hop artists.
Yeah, I know.
So the golden age of hip hop was the 1990s.
Yeah.
So that's like a constant. That is definitely. You watch a lot of fucking episodes, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie,
I know.
because that is a very reoccurring
Yeah.
subject. So
yeah.
you're 100% right.
Yeah, the 90s, and also you guys do the top 5 as well.
Yep, top 5.
Top 5.
Son of a gun, man.
Yeah.
You're good, man.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
fucking good,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, so that's interesting too, because it's always referring back to the 90s,
Mhm.
which I was always very, very fond of. Because
That's a very influential point in your life.
yeah, because I was probably 10 years old, so I kind of remember how they were.
Mhm.
But I wasn't living here. I was in DR,
Yeah.
by the way. But while watching, those shows, I got a sense of what it looked like, how it was,
Mhm.
and watching other shows. Like, have you seen that show Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider. I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever seen that show.
Yeah, that's how I learned how to speak English and
Wow.
how to write too.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's a cool fun fact right
Yeah,
there. That's a
that-
real cool fun fact.
yeah. So, and watching shows like The French Prince,
Okay.
Martin,
Yeah.
Moesha, and all these great shows.
So you know what's funny about those? That's like, those are very relatable to hip hop. Those type
Yeah.
of shows, because Will Smith's a hip hop artist.
Mhm.
Martin. everybody in the hip hop community and everybody I've talked to always mentions how great of a show Martin is, and that's a very influenceable '90s culture shows.
Yeah.
You know, and those are great shows. Wow, that's cool that you guys are watching all that, because I know I don't mean to take away from your story. I'm very sorry about this.
It's okay.
But like, I know a lot of people that because I work here too, and there's a lot of Dominican people that work on our job.
Yeah.
And all of them are always talking about the Spanish shows they've watched on all these other like, you know, I guess news stations such as Telemundo and like stuff like that.
Univision.
Yeah, exactly, stuff like that. And for you to say you were out here watching Fresh Prince, you were out here watching Martin, Ghost Rider, stuff like that, it's like you really did have a different type of upbringing.
Yeah, it was more of an American upbringing, but while living in a Spanish country, which is actually very.
That's a great mix.
Yeah, very great.
Because you're getting best of both worlds. Well, you know, the TV isn't the best, but you know, you're getting a good portion of both worlds.
Yeah. Always, and that's how I learn English. I accustom my ear to listening to the pronunciation of the words. But it's not a good thing to learn English watching a show like The French Prince, because you're actually learning the pickup lines the slang and everything, which is not a good thing to say. Because I tried that once and it didn't work out in high school. But when I got here, it was the strangest thing, because everybody looked so different from what I expected. Maybe because I was so out of the 90s, and I came in 2006.
Yeah.
So it was 15 years ago now in January. So it's been a while. So you know the language, but it's not really concrete in your head and how to say it out loud.
I understand, because I'm slowly learning Spanish, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but for me it was quick learning.
That's good.
So I could actually communicate what I was thinking, and also how to even manage myself around people.
That probably saved you a lot of trouble.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Not only trouble, it was just like it was my calling, like my card to be not accepted, because I don't think you are.
Yeah.
But to say, okay, cool, I belong a little bit.
Yeah.
But in high school, it was a different time for me, because I was a weird bald guy. I was calm. I'm still calm, very quiet, very to myself. And I was speaking to someone who went to high school with me just recently, and she said, which by the way, she's listening to this. I think she's the only one in Virginia.
Right on.
Yeah, and she said she's, by the way, very beautiful.
Oh, very nice. Oh, Jeffrey, here we go.
Yeah, she said you're a very calm and soothing person, and I think that stuck with me. And I said, thank you.
That's awesome.
And out of all the people she remembers me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that.
Shout out to her. Because if she's listening to this, shout out to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's worth. I don't want to say her name, but
no, don't worry about it. You don't have to, but just shout out to her.
Shout out to her, whatever you are in Virginia. Yeah. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Enjoy for yourself. Yeah, but so I wanted to ask you, like, with this pandemic, like, are you like trying to get things back on track with your partner, or?
Well, you know, not to divulge too much, he has his direction he wants to go in.
Okay.
And that's not that's not with the show, that's with life. And with me, I'm just trying to figure out where his head would be at without overstepping my boundaries and saying, "Oh, I'm doing this by myself now."
Oh, okay.
So you know what I'm saying? It's like a tightrope, because you know, I want to bring it back right away and do it, but also at the same time, I need to learn some more skills, audio, video editing, and stuff like that. But it's something I'm going to bring back. And I think can I divulge a little bit of how I plan on bringing it back?
Yeah, sure.
So I kind of feel like I'm going to bring it back in the sense of doing reviews on people's music and reviews on their music videos. And not so much an in-studio sit-down interview, but more of a, if you're interested to being on our platform, we'll give you the opportunity for us to review what you do and or promote what you're doing, depending on how you would like it. And I think the way I'm going to bring it back, too, is more activity on Instagram, going live on Instagram, and also, don't know if I want to say it. I think I want to say it. But trying to fucking do like live location shows and stuff, and like try to just throw in more concerts and fucking like doing showcases. And that's something I've only ever done once, is throw my own showcase with me and my friend Christian and this other guy who we're not going to name because we're not really cool with no more. But yeah, I want to bring back the community of what Long Island is in the music scene.
Yeah.
Okay, and the community of the arts and the cultural scene such as that. Because can I do a shout out right now?
Yeah, sure.
There's a shout out. I want to shout out the this guy Jose who hosts this event called The Colored Colors. And did you ever see that episode, The Colored Colors guy?
I think I must have. I must have had, but I don't. I'm telling
don't
you,
even worry about it.
It was a year ago, so I don't remember.
Absolutely, no. Trust me, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
But he hosts this event where it's like a multicultural event where there's music, art, food, there's everything, and he hosts these great events. And I draw a lot of inspiration by the way he does things. And he is a very, very humble, genuine, and hardworking individual. And he impresses me with the way he does things, because he actually set up the entire thing before COVID happened. He set up in Bayshore a bar crawl of concerts. You ever heard of South by Southwest?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He started a Bayshore South by Southwest.
No way.
He did it. Yeah, he had like 5 or 6 different venues on the main strip of Bayshore. There's people performing at every single one of those different venues, and you could just walk in and out of the events if you had like a wristband.
Oh, okay.
It was insane, and I was fucking blown away by that. So I want to kind of try to do things like that.
Oh,
and
that would
that's
be
how,
fantastic.
Yeah, and I want LI on the Rise to be a little bit more interactive.
Yeah.
And that's a direction I want to go in, is the interactions.
But with you, or with what you already made with the show, or
like in general?
In general, yeah.
Yeah, that's just how I want to keep moving forward with the show, with myself and hopefully with my friend Christian, depending on what decisions he makes in his path in life.
Yeah,
I would like to keep it has to be us. Like and if it's not us, it has to be me and not somebody else.
Yeah.
There's a blue jay right there. What the fuck?
I know. Yeah. Very unique moment, huh?
Yeah, that's crazy. But that's besides my
No,
see how my mind goes? I fucking looking away here.
And it's all going to stay in the recording. So, yeah. So
sorry to anybody listening.
No, it's okay.
I'm over here, ooh, shiny object. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to keep it pushing. Because, like you said, my last solid episode was, 10, 11 months ago? Something like that?
Yeah, it was November. I still remember the date. November 20th of last year.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
So November, coming up on 1 year.
Yeah.
And we've released a couple recap videos, and we just released a video on Instagram. My friend Christian just randomly made a video. This is why I'm so confused right now, so don't even...
On what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so he released a video of... We always ask this one question, who's the GOAT in hip-hop, which means greatest of all time, who for all those at home listening.
Yeah.
And he released a video on it, and it did really well, and he put it on the YouTube. So we released that about a week ago.
Yeah.
So... which makes me now want to get it rolling even more, because we got 700 views on Instagram the same day. So now it's like, oh, wow, there's still 700 people that are kind of interested. I got to fucking hop on this. You know what I'm saying? So
you have to.
And
get the ball rolling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it's just one of those things where I want to tread lightly, because of the emotions of another person and the ideas of another person. I'm always taking into consideration.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's very thoughtful.
I appreciate it.
And especially if you're doing something with someone else from so back long ago, because you guys met in high school.
Yeah.
And it keeps the friendship intact.
That friendship's first. Fuck the show.
Fuck that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. Friendship's first. If I have to do the show by myself, it's because he made the decision that maybe this is no longer for him.
He consented.
Exactly. And it's also, too, if he continues the show by himself, it's because I'm just like, this isn't for me. You can do it. Have at it. And we both understand that about, like, the way we are. And we both understand that this is a team effort. Because do you know how I started LA on the Rise? Do you know why I'm even a part of it?
How?
So basically... The reason I'm even a part of LI on the Rise, my friend Christian, he's always been a local musician from around here. He's been in a metal band before. He's created his own band. I actually have in this CD, in this car, a CD of an entire album of music he made, where he played drums, guitar, bass, and sung for every single song.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
He's
so
pretty talented.
He's a very talented individual, and he doesn't give himself a lot of credit for it sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm always the walking fucking like credit reel for him.
Credit
You know,
reel
I'm
for
like,
it.
no, don't. I know he's saying stuff, and you think you should listen or shouldn't listen. You gotta fucking listen, because this guy's made a whole studio fucking album by himself.
Yeah.
Every single instrument.
Yeah.
So don't tell him shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that
Yeah.
I don't ever get that intense.
Yeah.
But the whole reason this even started is because he had an interview lined up with somebody who was a comedian.
Oh wow, which
Yeah.
is totally different from what you guys are
Exactly.
doing, because it's music adjacent.
Yeah.
So for you to say, oh, he was going to start with a comedian,
Yeah.
that's so interesting to me.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
insane, right?
Yeah.
And he was literally like, I'm sorry, let me save that thought. But he was sitting there one day, and he quit doing music.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he was having like this moment in his room where he was thinking, he's like, man, nobody supports anybody around here. Nobody gives a shit. I just want to, I want everybody to like themselves. Like, I want everybody to be in this community. He's like, nobody cares. Nobody wants to do anything. And then he was like, wait. He's like, I care. I like doing things.
Mhm.
What can I do
Mhm.
to make it so everybody else can care? So we came up with the idea of LI on the Rise. So
Mm.
for everybody to listen, it wasn't my idea. I'll never take credit for it. I'm a
Mhm.
part of it. I'm 50-50 with him, but it was not my idea.
Oh wow.
It was not my idea.
Oh look
So
at that.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, it was not my idea. And I give him so much credit for, instead of being beaten down, he decided to flip it and turn it into maybe I should be the one that cares about the musicians on Long Island.
Yeah.
And then he came up with the idea. He set up an interview with this guy Dice or whatever, and this guy Shasties. Shout out to both of them, great people.
Yeah.
And he didn't do them, but he was fine with doing those because they're musicians. He's a musician, so the dialogue will be there. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's an open dialogue. He knows what they're going to talk about. He'll understand what they're talking about musically, what he's talking about. And then he met this comedian, and he was like, I would love to interview you. Great. And then he called me and he told me this whole idea, because he's the type of guy, he won't tell anybody an idea until he's set in stone and he's confident about it.
Mhm.
So, like, not to say he wasn't confident about it, but, like, he wasn't just ready to tell anyone.
Mhm.
So he told me, and then he was like, do you want to, he goes, I know you're funny, Al. I'm having this comedian on. I think it would be great for an episode if you came on with me and the comedian. So, are we good? I'm sorry.
No, we're
Okay.
good. We're good. Don't worry about it.
We're on with the comedian,
Mhm.
and I think you guys would be great together, and I'll just, like, hold the open dialogue and drive it, and you guys just have great conversations. And I said, all right, cool. And we go down there, and he shows me the whole setup, which is the office he's always had that I've known about, but he set it up differently for the show. And
Yeah.
I was amazed, and I was like, wow. And then he was like, do you want to do it? And I said, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And he goes, you sure? And I said, yeah. And I said, but you know what the thing is, though, is if I do one of these, I'm gonna have to do them all. And he's like, really? He's like, I
Yeah.
didn't even think you'd be interested. He's like, I just thought you wanted to have a cool conversation, talk about this and that. I said, no, dude, I believe in this. I love this.
Yeah.
You're one of my best friends in the whole world. Why in the fuck wouldn't I do this? So, you know
And
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
why would I do it with somebody else?
Yeah, exactly.
That is not you, because I know you. So
Exactly.
it's so interesting that how he started to,
Yeah.
because he was just only starting off at something that it was experimental, but at
Yeah.
the same time it was something basically for you to do if you wanted to.
Yeah.
That's what I got from the story.
Yeah,
You
he
just told
kind of
me-
gave me the option of, like, yeah, come out. We'll have an interview with this comedian, and we'll just say you're a guest host.
Yeah, and also he thought, man, you're funny.
Yeah.
He's a comedian. He does this, and maybe you can have a good time. And let me bowl out a few questions, and
Yeah.
then maybe you guys can have a conversation. I'll be back here just listening and
Exactly.
just giving it a point of reference every time you guys talk.
Yeah.
But and that also says a lot about him. He was not only about doing a show. He was looking out for you, so you
Yeah.
could have a moment of just expressing yourself a
Yeah,
little bit.
and I appreciate him for that.
Yeah.
And you know what? And he was like, he goes, he kind of was like trying to talk me out of it. Not in the sense of like he didn't want me to do it, but in the sense of he wanted me to realize how much work it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept saying, if you do this with me, we're gonna have interviews.
Yeah.
The interviews are gonna have to come from. I'm like, dude, you don't even gotta tell me all this.
Yeah.
I know. Like
Yeah.
I said, this is something I literally, we haven't done an episode.
Mm-hmm.
All you've showed me was a sign that says Ella on the Rise, the one that's on the desk every time.
Yeah.
It's like all you've done is shown me a sign, a table, and three microphones. and I want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So-
let it rip.
Exactly.
After that.
And then after that, it was just boom, 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 boom. And we actually have an episode that nobody has ever seen. By the way, the comedian episode never worked out.
Oh, he never
It
did.
never
what
worked.
what happened to it?
He literally just never showed up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we're both sitting there, and he never showed up. So that was going to be the first episode we ever recorded.
Wow, with that comedian,
Yeah.
because it your show is not even
I-
comedian
know.
comedian
Centric. Like,
centric. Yeah, thank you for that. But it doesn't seem like it's all been hip hop music adjacent.
Yeah.
You have had DJs,
Yeah.
songwriters,
Couple rockers.
couple rockers. You
Yeah.
know, some oddballs. I might say. You know.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not saying about you, but
No,
some
no,
of your
no,
guests,
I know.
some of them, they have been like a little okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
like,
I get.
This could be better.
This could have been better.
Trust me,
but
I bet you if you we'll do it after this. If you can pick out an episode on who you think's awkward, and I could tell you, yeah, it was fucking awkward.
Yeah.
So,
No, but you know who I think it wasn't awkward? It was I've told you this guy's his name so much because I love his episode Prophet.
oh yeah,
He was really he had his own style and
Yeah.
and
very unique,
very unique. His the way he presented himself,
articulate.
very articulate and very modest and also very well dressed dude, man.
Yeah, he's almost like he's almost like a walking period piece.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he I
Yeah.
think he, if I'm not mistaken,
Mm-hmm.
in the episode he mentions that he really is into noirs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he mentioned that.
Yeah, so he like lives like a noir.
Yeah,
know what I'm
noir,
saying?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that old fucking vintage style, and you could see it with the hat he was wearing
Yeah.
and everything. But yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
You know, that's actually the only one you could pull out where I could tell you no, it wasn't awkward.
No, that wasn't awkward.
Yeah, but he was just very deliberate in the way he spoke.
Yeah.
Very like, and I think it was at the point where we were starting to like climb up a little bit, and he
Mhm.
kind of felt like he said some stuff to us off camera where he was like, "I didn't even think you guys would consider me for something like this." You know what I'm saying?
How come he was just great on the show?
I know, because I feel like he maybe thought we were already having artists that were bigger than him on, when in the case is nobody is bigger than the show.
Nobody's bigger
Ever.
than the show.
Ever. You know what I'm saying? Where it's funny because John Paul Lewis, the last guy we ever had on the show, basically,
Mhm.
he has like under 1,000 followers or
Yeah.
1,000 followers or something.
I saw that, and still has less than 1,000.
Yeah, and
which
he,
is
he's one of the
mind-boggling.
most talented people I've ran into.
Yeah, and he's about to write a musical. Well, he was about to, and he invited you guys.
Yeah, I think
It-
he actually did it. I think
did it
yeah,
before
I
the
think-
pandemic?
Yeah, I think it's done with. I think he did it. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah, he wrote the music for a musical.
Wow. And he said that he was very musical driven, and he was
He's a big theater guy.
big theater guy, and he
Mhm.
was a collaborative.
Mhm.
And also, I must congratulate congratulate you on being so receptive of what you guys are listening to in terms of like not music of the guests you have, because you have this great sense of how to listen to people when they talk.
We absolutely.
Because many, I hate to bash the younger people, but they don't do a
No.
lot of goodness in terms of like listening to
No,
others.
it's in and out.
It's in and out, yeah. It's like fast, and people, I don't know if it's New York, but they just speak so fast. And I
Yeah.
said, even some people, I said, dude, calm down.
Yeah.
I'm listening. You don't have to throw everything in one sentence.
Yeah.
Just, okay, I'm listening, but
Yeah.
let's just dissect what we're saying.
Take
Let's
it down a notch.
Take it down a notch. I'm here. We have time.
Mhm.
And for the sake of our conversation, let's just ease off on the message.
Yeah.
You know? I'm listening. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Be cool.
We're
man.
vibing.
We're vibing.
Relax.
If you need a babe, if you need a weed,
Yeah.
man, do
Yeah,
whatever you
y-
have to do to
yeah,
calm yourself.
Exactly.
Because by the way, I don't knock on anybody who does it.
Yeah.
But I don't need it. So.
Yeah, no.
so-
dude,
but
everybody has their thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like
yeah.
for me it's weed and vape. For other
Yeah.
people it's heroin and cocaine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
there's a line I draw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I think you're on your own if you're doing the
Yeah, yeah.
cocaine and heroin.
exactly. I gotta go.
I gotta go.
yeah.
Yeah,
so-
you wouldn't even be able to wake up,
yeah, exactly.
man. But Thank
sleeping.
goodness for weed and
Yeah,
vape that
exactly.
allows us to continue.
Yeah,
You-
believe it or not, I've actually quit smoking weed a couple days ago. So
A couple days.
Yeah, I'm only a couple days in,
A
but I
couple days.
stopped because I heard at this job they're doing random drug testing, so I had to calm down a little bit.
You had to.
Yeah, so
No.
I'm like 3 days in, but I'm not stopping vaping.
No.
But nobody
Well,
stopped me from vaping.
Don't stop vaping, man.
Yeah.
No. But weed, man, I didn't think that they will taste for weed.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy. You know what's actually funny? One of my supervisors in the morning, I'm going to tell you this, the male supervisor in the morning, I'm not going to
Mhm.
say a name,
Mhm.
he kind of put me on and said that this is kind of what's going down because me and
Yeah.
him are cool. Granted, he does get on my nerves, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But me and him are cool enough. We have cool enough conversations for him to be like, yo, bro, you got to kind of like
Yeah.
cool it off a
Cool
little
it
bit
all-
because they're just picking people.
Picking people
So,
randomly.
yeah.
Yeah, and the last thing you want is to not only have a bad impression on what
Mhm.
they on them for them not telling you, but
Yeah.
also you want to be careful about losing your job too,
Yes.
because the pandemic has turned
Make it difficult.
made it difficult for everyone to look out for a job out
Yeah.
there. So please be careful
Yo,
on
trust me.
the usage. So just keep vaping if you can, handle the
No, dude, I'm telling
the
you.
craving of
Yeah,
you
I'm
know.
3 days in. I'm doing fine.
yeah.
So it's just the thing is like,
I'm sorry for laughing.
no, don't worry. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine as of right now, but it's just like, it was such a nice pastime of mine. Going
Mhm.
home, winding down, smoking a little bit, playing Xbox. It's
Yeah.
just it's one of those things where you enjoy the simple things in life.
Yeah.
That for me is a simple thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you take that away, you start doing other stuff. Like now I'm constantly watching sports because that's a simple pleasure for me.
Yeah.
Just watching sports. I'm constantly, well, not constantly, but I'm vaping. You know what I'm saying? You see
Yeah.
me here. I've hit it like 3 or 4 times,
Yeah,
5, 6
yeah.
times sitting
Which
here.
is fine by
yeah,
me, so don't worry.
And if you ever feel uncomfortable with me hitting a vape, you tell me, I'll fucking stop.
No, don't worry
But-
about it. Keep doing it.
Yeah. All right, let me get them both out. No. Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's stuff like that. So it's
Mhm.
like it's not that hard to stop because I've honestly, you want to hear a real fun fact? I've been smoking almost every single day for about 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, weed.
8 years.
Yeah, 8 years. And maybe not every day, you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? But for the good portion of 8 years I've been smoking weed.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, crazy enough.
Yeah.
So it's like I think I need a break. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like let me breathe a little bit. Let me understand what oxygen tastes like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
Without the inflection of the naturalness
Yeah,
from the weed
exactly.
to affect my brain
Yeah,
chemistry.
exactly.
And let me just breathe in whatever it is that is out
The
there.
universe. You know what I've been getting into a lot of it.
The
a lot.
universe.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I've been getting to a lot in though is like the understanding of people's energies
Yeah.
and the understanding of like what do you call it? Like I don't know how to describe it. But like like the Buddhist feeling of the way things are
Mhm.
mentally and how you got to create your own zen. And you
Mhm.
got to like the thing is when you smoke weed, that's you're manufacturing your zen.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? All that feeling is still inside you, whether
Yeah.
you smoke weed or not. You could feel happy, hungry, this, that, whatever you want to be, all the H words you could think of,
Yeah.
and it's all natural.
Yeah.
Where it's like when you're smoking weed, you're happy,
Yeah.
but you just manufactured that out of smoking something.
Yeah.
When in reality, all you need to be is just up here happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know what to describe it, but like the human body and mind and being is very strange,
Yeah.
and it's like everything inside you and the way you're wired is for a reason. And
Yeah.
if you understand that wiring and the fact that you have this reason and purpose,
Mhm.
you kind of have this strange clarity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And where weed
Comes into
it cuts into that clarity.
yeah.
So it's very.
But do you think we can reach that level of understanding without depending on weed or any kind
Yeah.
of drug?
I feel like anybody could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like anybody could. This is ironic that I'm talking this deep and I'm only 3 days in, but like I've had this same clarity. I've been working on this same clarity
Mhm.
while I'm smoking. You know what I'm saying? But so the thing is like I'm working on it, but I'm cutting through it. I'm working on it, but I'm cutting through it. So it's like anybody can do drugs. It's easy to do drugs, whether it's weed, coke, heroin, this, that. It's so easy. All you gotta do is say yes.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
You're twice the person if you could hold back and say no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can I tangent off into a story?
Yeah. Go ahead.
One of my good friend my good friend named Taylor from high school, he joined the Marine Corps, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before he joined the Marine Corps, he had a very bad problem with addiction. I'm not going to say what or who or what and like how.
Yeah.
But he had a problem with addiction, and one day he reached the brink, and he told his mother. Instead of hanging himself, overdosing, or doing something, he went out of the way and he told his mom, which was the smartest thing he's ever done.
Yeah.
And his mom gave him the help and got him the help he needed to get, and he got sober.
Yeah.
And he got sober, changed his life, and joined the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
And before he joined the Marine Corps, he had a going-away party. And at the going-away party, I walked up to him, and I gave him a big hug, and I said, I gave him a hug, and I said into his ear, I said, "You have no idea how proud I am of you." I said, "You have no idea how strong of a person you are for making the decision you made, and look at where you're going now."
Yeah.
And I said that to him, and then I said, I look in this room of people, all these people that you know. These are some fucked up individuals. These are some individuals that don't give a shit about you, that they're only here to have a party.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I said, I just want you to know, out of all these people here, you never have to question the fact of how much I am proud of you for what you've done.
Yeah.
And then he holds me back in as a hug, and he says to me, he goes, "Al," he goes, "you should be proud of yourself." He goes, "You sat in those same rooms with me.
Yeah. Wow.
You talked with those same people while we were all doing heroin and drugs and coke and this and that, all the drugs the above, and you sat there and you chose not to do it."
Wow.
He goes, "You know how strong of a person you are for that?" He goes, "You're an inspiration to me."
Wow.
And I almost fucking cried. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you
No,
know, I'm a
that-
grown
that-
man. I held it in, but you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
almost cried because it's like I never thought of it like that. I
Yep.
just always thought of it as I'm choosing not to. I just sat there and smoked my little joint while they're sitting there doing their craziness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is giving insight of some of the people me and my friend Christian know.
Wow.
You know what
man.
I'm saying? It's
Well,
insane, right?
It's insane, man.
Yeah.
The kind of people you
Yeah.
have come to know, but
Yeah.
it says a lot about you, acknowledging what he went through while cleaning up, and and also telling him, dude, I feel proud of the man that you have become.
Yeah.
But then the thing that really strikes me is that he wouldn't buy the same people that would induce him to do that while he's actually being out.
Yeah.
And you notice that they were not their friends.
Yeah.
Which my follow-up question is like, do you find that the value of friendship is so diminished by who we call our friends, or we don't take in consideration who our true friends are? Because you can have all these flannel friends that we so call them as that, but they are not true to us or true.
Yeah, you know what's funny is because I'm the type of person that puts a lot of trust into people and a lot of
sorry if I interrupt you,
no,
but which by the way takes advantage of your best quality, and that's why you have been as successful as you are.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so
that makes a lot. That means a lot.
So it's such a sad thing that they take advantage of that. I think I haven't heard the whole thing.
No, people do. And the thing is like with me, I know for a fact I can be blinded by friendship, and people will do things that necessarily aren't friend worthy to me that I won't see initially.
Yeah.
And the thing is like remember I told you earlier, from 20 to 25 I did a lot of growing up. I think the conversation before we started talking, a lot of the growing up was realizing, other than growing up mentally, it was realizing that a lot of these people aren't meant for you to be friends with.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Just because you went to high school with them and you guys had fun times, doesn't mean that's your fucking friend.
No,
you know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of what people do is they're misled by delusions of grandeur and what somebody used to mean to them. Yeah. Because what somebody used to mean to you is not necessarily what they mean to you at this very moment.
No.
So I feel like, I'm kind of going off like of what you first initially asked, but this is the best way I can describe it, is that not everybody is really just meant to be your friend.
No.
As much as you want to be friends with people, because I'm a very nice guy. I want to be friends with everybody I meet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not always like that. And the thing is friendship, it's the theory of when two people are holding onto a rope and the one person's falling off a cliff, but the cliff they're falling off of is not a real cliff. The cliff they're falling off of is depression, despair, using, being a user, being negative, being this and being that, and they're doing nothing to help themselves, and they're doing everything to hurt you, but you're still trying to feed them that positive energy, and they're just draining you of everything you feel emotionally. What's better, the fact that you holding this rope and it getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter around your hands to the point where you can barely hold on, or just let go? You let go of the rope, your hand's fine. The pain's still there from you holding this hot rope, but as time goes, your hand heals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as your hand heals, you begin to develop and understand that necessarily it was never even meant for me to be even holding the rope.
Yeah. For that person who is suffering from those emotional withdrawings from whatever life is.
And this is not, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to get this last piece out, and you can go on a tangent yourself because I keep doing it.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
That person necessarily, you are supposed to help your friends that are in dark times, but it's to the point of, does your friend want the help? And if they don't, and you're constantly trying to help them, and they're constantly bringing you down and retracting from what you guys, from you two growing as individuals, then you have to let go, because if you're not growing, you're losing. Personally, mentally, physically, out and everything, you're just losing. Yeah. And you're losing so much. You could be doing so much more, but instead you're holding on to this toxic individual that's doing nothing but causing pain in your life.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing. And that's something I feel very connected to, because I've had a lot of those type of people in my life where they technically, they didn't deserve to even be in my life.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure you've met people like that, where it's like you've held on to someone and you're just like, wow, this person didn't even deserve to know this version of me.
And I have noticed that with one person, and it's so wonderful. You had that self-reflecting moment at such a young age, because so many people who don't have that inner that inner maturity to see the things that are happening to them, it happens to them when they're 45.
Yeah,
and already a life has gone by, not their whole life. But then it's too late to remember or to acknowledge what happened. Like, and not noticing the time that you spent with someone who was this toxic and was not growing with you. But to give you a backstory of myself too, I had this friend whom I met in high school. It was the last moment that we will all see each other. I tapped her on the shoulder and I met her, and from then on it was like, okay, it wasn't like love at first sight, but we started off a friendship and it went on for 10 years. But I was always the one initiating everything. Backtrack it a year ago, and all this life has happened to me, like going back from Oklahoma to here, and going through a lot of so many things happened. I saw her while walking and having my lunch, and it was a night, and she was coming, and I called her back like 4 years or 3 years ago, and then she was telling me all this. Oh, thank you for calling. You're such a loyal person. But then I will call her again, and she will not respond, and all that. And I knew she will see my phone calls, but I said, I'm done. From now on, I'm just not gonna reach out to people who are not going to even acknowledge the fact that I called them, or I want to know something about them. Because when I call somebody or send somebody a text, it's not with intentions of just getting something from them. I just want to know, how are you? How's everything?
And I appreciate about you.
Yeah.
Because, like I said before, you always ask how somebody's doing. Always.
Yeah, always. And with no intentions of getting anything from you. And I have to tell that, even now at 30 years old, to someone, look, man, I don't need anything from you. I'm calling you. It's coming from a good place. This call is coming from a good place. And whatever I'm asking you is genuinely from somebody who is not looking to gain anything. It's only a conversation. That's all I want from you.
Yeah.
And so to go back to the story, I saw her back again only a year ago, and she was walking this way, and I was walking that way on the sidewalk, and she just literally just walked right past me
Wow.
without acknowledging who I was.
Wow.
And I said, you know who I am.
Yeah.
It's not like you don't know who I am. Even if it's a night, even if it's
Hello.
hello, and it wasn't even pitch black. The lights were shining on us,
Yeah.
and she just walked right past me. And I said, "Wow, people change." It's like that Tupac lyric on this song, "My Homies Calls."
Yeah.
You know, if my homie calls, that's what the name.
Calls?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
the name of the song is. Everybody grows, and time goes, and everybody grows. That lyric.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing.
Yep.
I think I've outgrown that person.
Yeah.
And the thing that really hurt me was, man, I went to your house. I met your family. I
Yeah.
know your mother. I know your stepdad.
Yeah.
And you did that to me, like.
Yeah.
And
It's
it hurt.
crazy, right?
Oh my God, man! It was just like in 10 years of knowing you.
Yeah.
And you did that to me. I mean,
Yeah.
out of
it's-
all people.
I'm sorry that happened to you, man.
No, and I'm telling you this because not for the sake of just our conversation. It's just to reflect on friendships and
Yeah.
what it means to have one. Because what I hope for in all of us is to nurture our friendships.
Exactly. That's
And
what
I
it's
would-
about.
Yeah, that's what it's about. And I hope we could have enough time in this lifetime to nurture them if
Yeah.
you're lucky to have one. Because that's one thing that people don't understand also, that anybody can be your friends, but who is the person who's going to show up at that moment
Yeah.
where you're suffering from despair,
It's-
depression, anxiety, all these emotional
Yeah.
things that can hold you up and not even get you out of your own hole, of that dark hole that nobody can get you out. Only probably someone,
Yeah.
can reach out and say, man, I just wanted to see how were you. And it was just like your friend pointing out
Yeah.
how great he was after recovering from
Yeah.
what he
Oh,
was
yeah.
suffering from.
Absolutely.
And it was so profound to me what you just told me, that everybody who was doing their crazy shit, you actually went up to him and
Yeah.
shared with him what you felt about him.
No, yeah.
So-
He had. I feel like he had to know.
He had to know.
I feel like he had to know there was somebody in that room that saw him
yeah,
and knew. And I knew when I saw him,
yeah,
he was a better version of himself.
yeah,
And because all these same people were living their dark fucking whatever they were doing. And I
Yeah.
see Taylor, and he's he's having a good time, and he's happy to just see all these people.
mm-hmm.
But I think I wanted to say that to him because I
Mhm.
think I wanted him to know subconsciously
mm-hmm.
that it's great that he's seeing all these people now as a goodbye,
mm-hmm.
but this is the real goodbye.
yeah,
This is the real I'm moving on.
yeah. No, this is the end.
Yeah.
This is the end, and it's a quick revelation of what it would happen if you don't do the necessary thing for you to leave that environment.
Yeah.
Because you can, as well as you got out with an incredible struggle,
Yeah.
you can go back in so easily
Of course.
if you don't have the right people, of course. And
Mhm.
and it's just shocking to me. Not shocking, but you're not the type of person who would be in those environments.
Mhm.
But you have to go to those fucked up places to see who really your good people are.
Yeah.
Not even friends. It's just the
Yeah,
good people.
just a wholehearted person.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, to be honest with you, the fact that I've seen so many things, like I'm gonna be really, really candid right now. I've seen somebody shoot up heroin in front of me.
Oh wow.
I've witnessed it. It's one of the most uncomfortable experiences I've ever had in my entire life. I had to
Yeah.
get out of there as fast as possible.
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I had to leave.
Mhm.
I had to. I was like, "Yo, if this guy dies here, that's all your problem. I gotta go. I don't even know him that well. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? So I gotta go." But the thing is like, the story of how I see all these people is, I had this friend James.
Mhm.
We smoked weed. He sold weed. We're friends. We were friends from high school before all that, anyways. Like, it
Mhm.
just so happens that's the way his life was going. And then he started making friends with these hardcore drug people, and I would still want to go hang out with my friend James.
Ye-
But all these other people were there.
Yeah,
You
they
know
will
what I'm
come.
s-
They will come together with him.
Exactly, and I'm just trying to relive what, and that's the letting go. Is like, I want my friend James to be this friend I've always known,
Mhm.
but it's not. He's not it, and I had to let go of the rope. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things. And now, this is the crazy part.
Mhm.
My friend James is currently 3 years sober.
Wow.
Yeah, he went to a 3-year program. But the thing is, though,
Mhm.
and this is no offense to him,
Mhm.
And I've seen him after he's gotten sober, but I can't look at him in the same light ever again anymore. It's not because of the drugs. It's because of the fact of how little consideration he took friendship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He didn't consider how fragile it is and how special it is to be friends with someone.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Wow, that's very profound, dude.
Yeah.
And that's what I figure out when I was 15, when I first came in here. And because I was so disappointed where we landed after coming here, and then I told my grandmother this is it, really? This is what people do, and in high school I will see the same things as you did.
Yeah.
But there was a guy who gave me a bag of cocaine. I think it was cocaine or heroin, and I said, "You better get the fucking," and because I never speak, and when you hear me, I really mean it. I said, "You better get that fucking bag out of my face."
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think you spoke, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, "You better get out with that shit, because I'm not about that."
That's not your life.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And I prevented all.
People should respect that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you want to make that your life, that's your prerogative.
Yeah.
That's not my prerogative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually lean towards the positive, which was running and cycling, and also the friendship I have with this kid who just left for the army, like I told you way before we started recording. Because you said we actually bashed out 10 minutes worth of recording, but it's fine. We're actually doing very well, and I value his friendship. I've known him for 13 years since high school, or even more after that, and we speak about everything, just like you and I were doing.
Yeah.
And just to give you a true value of our friendship, he actually put me as a reference for his army officer, which says a lot about.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because he said, "Dude, Jeff, I'm going to tell you straight up, I didn't put anyone, and I don't know anyone that I can trust, that I can put on this application that could actually talk to the officer." And I talked to the officer for him.
Wow.
And the last things I said on the interview, by the way, the officer was so straight with me, like this, that.
Yeah.
You know how the army
Question,
people
answer.
Don't give me a backstory of everything.
Yeah.
And then at the last moment, I said, "Sir, I know you don't want spiel on anyone, but let me say this. Look, you're not going to regret having Henry."
Yeah.
That's his name, Henry.
Shout out to Henry.
Shout out to Henry. And you won't regret having him on, so please take him, and he'll be good. And actually, he texted me back saying, "Dude, did you say those last things?" I said, "Yeah, dude. Oh, thank you so much for saying that."
Oh, that was a good thing. That's awesome.
Yeah. So he's right now in South Carolina, and I wish him the best.
Yeah,
and I haven't talked to him in 2 months, man.
He's about to be done training?
Yeah, in December he's about to be.
Awesome. Are you going to go out and see him, or? No,
he's coming back.
Oh, so that's awesome.
Yeah,
so you're going to be able to, that's good, though. And you know what? And now you know your friend's getting to live something that he always wanted to fulfill in his life.
Yeah.
And that's got to be a great thing to feel as well.
Oh,
you
for sure. Yeah. So. And what I actually get from your stories, and thank you for sharing those stories.
Yeah, you're 100% welcome.
Man, because you don't open up this much, I don't think.
Not all the time.
No, because that's what my friend Kima, also the one who I did the first episode with, told me. I'm just saying what she told me about myself, which I don't do, by the way.
Yeah.
Because if you speak about yourself, you're missing the plot very much.
Yeah.
Because she said you initiate this on people. You actually open them up very.
No, you're an easy person to talk to, and I commend you for that.
Yeah. Thank you very much, because it's not easy to get things out of people, and it's not like I ask them that. It's just that it comes out of them naturally. I don't know if it's because of me and who I am as a person, but I don't take whatever they tell me lightly.
Yeah.
And it's not also
the same way.
Yeah, it's not also being easy to talk to. It's also having this quality that you have very well ignited in you, which is trust. And I don't take that lightly from you, because you're giving me this while doing this.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate you feel that way, because, I like to be an open book to the people that I think deserve it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, I've known you at the job for whatever amount of time now. I understand you're a good person.
Yeah.
I understand that this show, this little episode we're doing here, it's it's so people can get to know whoever, me, you, everything, to
Yeah.
get our opinions on things.
Mhm.
And the thing on things, and to if you want my full opinion
Mhm.
and you are genuinely listening and want it, I should respect that fact and give you the full information.
Yeah.
To what I'm comfortable. And I'm
Yeah.
comfortable, as you can see, what I'm telling you, I'm
Mhm.
pretty much comfortable with saying anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just to have an open dialogue, I
Mhm.
think is very important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I feel.
Yeah, sure. But going back to, not to skip everything, would you absolutely change something about growing up, or would you have rather have it differently, or would you do you think like, I'm glad I've had this experiences so I know who my true friends are, or
I think growing up,
mm, yeah.
I don't think I would change anything because
Mm.
all these little things that have happened in my life
Mhm.
has gotten to me to this exact moment.
Yeah.
So for me to say that I should change anything
Mhm.
means I'm not happy with the process,
Okay.
which is not how I feel.
Okay.
Because I'm happy with the process of how everything goes.
Mhm.
And I personally think that if I were to change anything in my past, like literally anything, like the butterfly effect, like literally the smallest thing, this whole scenario wouldn't have happened.
No, no, no.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's like a little bit about myself. Like when growing up in Florida, when I was living with my mother and my father, my parents got divorced. My father moved back up here, and my mother lived in Florida, and I lived with her for 3 years during middle school.
Yeah.
I was extremely depressed, reclusive, a hermit, and this is ironic. You're not gonna believe this. I didn't say anything to anybody. I never left my house. I didn't go hang out with anybody outside of school.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit. I was on the football team, but I did football practice. I played football games. I never hung out with anybody I played with. I never hung out with anybody on the team. It was literally there, back, that's it. And
Wow.
yeah.
But because sorry if I interrupt you,
No
but
worries.
you're a very friendly person.
Yeah.
And that seems to be very, very out of your character. Yeah. Your phone.
Sorry, man.
No, it's okay, man.
Just let it buzz.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, it's ringing. Like I didn't turn that off earlier.
No,
Sorry
no,
to
no, it's
everybody
okay.
listening.
No, it's okay.
But you know, it's just one of those things where it's just all these experiences are it just they had to happen. They had to. Like, you know, and me being a hermit in Florida, then moving back up here and finding myself, it needed to happen.
Yeah.
It needed to happen in that way, because if it didn't, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And that's just how I feel.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just, I should probably, hold on. Let me turn my Bluetooth off real quick, just so that doesn't happen again.
Don't worry.
But, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just, you know, I don't think I would change it. I don't.
No.
I don't.
Even if that didn't happen to you, I don't think we will be here sitting right now.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that your parents separated,
Yeah.
which is a very very painful event for a kid.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I don't mean to dive into it
No, don't
so
worry.
much, but I think it affected you very well
Yeah.
when you were little. And are they still separated?
Yeah, they've been since they left. They really haven't. They've seen each other one time since they've been divorced.
Oh wow.
Or no, twice.
Twice. Wow.
Yeah.
Just for the sake, just for you only, or for.
Oh yeah, the reason they divorced was 90% for the sake of myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they weren't happy.
Yeah.
One day, I said to my mother, I said, "Why is Daddy always angry, and why are you crying all the time?" This was I was in the 5th grade, so that's why it sounded
Wow.
like that.
You were like 10, 11.
Yeah, 10 or
years old.
11, and that hit my mom like a fucking freight train.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because she realizes the negativity they go through has been affecting me.
Yeah.
Because when I say that, that means that's affected me.
Yeah.
And she took action on it, and she was like, "Yeah, you know what? This is true." And she wasn't happy as well, this and that, and here we are. And now it's all figured itself out now.
Yeah.
So and it's all better than it would have been.
Oh my God! Can
Yeah.
you imagine
Yeah.
like them sticking it through?
I'm
and-
happy they made that realization.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Which a lot of couples don't do,
yeah.
and they just stuck in just for the sake of the children, but they themselves are not happy.
Yeah.
While being under the same roof, but then the ones who suffer are the children.
Yeah.
It's not only them; it's everybody around there.
Yeah.
And I commend your parents for doing that.
Yeah,
because
no, I appreciate them for it too.
Yeah, for sure. Because also here in Copic, you see that a lot with couples, with Dominican couples, and
Mhm.
it's just like you don't know the language, but it's the same common trend that goes on. They get into relationships without considering the hurt that they give out their children, and even
Yeah.
the younger women. Man, I have experienced some weirdness with some of the women, and even where we work, there have been some of the younger ones that have come in. In the I don't mean to bash my own community, but I
Mhm.
think I get a pass because I'm Dominican. It's
Yeah.
just these women, the Dominican women, they don't think about who they get involved with. They
Okay.
just like the bad guys and all this stuff. And
I understand.
I'm just generalizing a little bit, but even now, I remember, we work with a lot of females where we
Yeah,
work, and one
true.
girl told me, even now after coming back, and she said, it wouldn't work with you because you're too laid back. I said, what? Like, are you serious? Like, this is
Doesn't make
just,
no sense.
it makes no freaking sense. So I told her, like, wait, so you like the guy who's in drugs, who is in prison,
High strung.
high strong, like, that doesn't work. And guess what? The father of her child is in prison.
Yeah.
So basically, you're letting yourself not only have the father of your child in prison, but he's growing up without one. So he's going to grow up with that kind of
Mhm.
sting in his mind or
Yeah.
whatever it is. But
No, it's always gonna sit back here. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's always gonna be in the back of your head.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
shallow, man, with these people, and it's just like, even for my parents as well. I'll mention them a little bit. It's
Mhm.
just like with my parents. It's just kind of a weird, sort of strange relationship. It's just
Yeah.
it's just like at one point I said, man, why don't you guys, man, just leave each other for a
Yeah.
moment and just come back
Catch
and
a break.
catch a break, and then just go back to what you guys were good at,
Yeah.
which was like communicating things with each other. You don't have to sleep in the same bedroom, but
Yeah.
please just come back and reassure your values and what you're trying to instill in us,
Yeah.
our your sons or whatever.
Yeah.
But because I have another brother too,
Okay, right on.
which is he's 1 year younger than me.
Okay.
So yeah, but I don't know, man. It's just tough. Family and
Family's difficult,
it's difficult, man. It's just
to say
like
the least.
I'm so like I don't know, something about me too. I don't have a lot of friends, dude.
Mhm.
And it goes back to the depression. I have suffered from that.
Yeah.
Anxiety, and that's one thing that I would like to mention too, that
Yeah.
I've suffered from that. I don't hope I'm just opening up
Yeah.
because we just mentioned that.
No, yeah, absolutely. Depression's a tough thing, man.
Yeah, man, and just to get out. I've been in those dark places, but
Dude.
one thing, and I've experienced that when I was 7 years old too.
Mhm.
And something I said to myself when I was in high school when I got here, which is so easily to be influenced by others.
Yeah.
I said, man, I am not gonna get into drugs, and I'm not gonna get
Smart.
into to alcohol. I'm just gonna, and running was my medicine and all that. And regressing, I read a lot too. So those were my main things. So
That's awesome, man. Though, like
Yeah.
it's good that you knew,
yeah,
because a lot of people, the reason they end up doing all this crazy stuff is because they don't know.
yeah, they don't
You know what I'm saying? And when you know that you don't want to, I guess, quote unquote, to put a name on it, be a degenerate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And you know that, like, I'm going to focus on being a good runner. I'm going to focus on reading things I enjoy to read. I'm going to
Yeah.
focus on TV shows I watch as a kid. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Stuff like that.
Mhm.
Then you have that knowledge and understanding of, like, this is what I want and this is what I enjoy.
Mhm.
Nothing else is going to satisfy you. You know what I'm saying? Nothing else is going to be what you want. Nothing else is going to be, you know what I'm saying? You want to live on that line of what you like to do. Granted, it is nice, discovering new things, but do you want that new discovery to be fucking a bag of drugs? Absolutely not.
No,
You know what I'm
no.
saying? So it's like
No.
it's a good that you have those qualities to think that way.
Yeah, 'cause I didn't need it from somebody outside of my family, or I didn't
Yeah.
need somebody from my families to make me understand that. But I had it on myself. Like I put it on myself to be responsible enough,
Mm-hmm.
not to cause a bad detriment to my parents,
Yeah.
and not for them to worry about me, what I was doing. So I didn't choose the street life, because even where we are now,
Yeah.
there's nothing going on. So it depends on who you get yourself
Yeah.
with. That it can get you to that kind of life.
No, it's very easy to get into bad shit. It's super. It's very hard to be good, but it's very easy to be bad.
Yeah.
It's so easy to make that decision.
And to derail in the wrong path. Because where we work too, there's a bunch of guys who have been in there, like, who have done the baddest things ever, and some weirdos in there. And I told one guy who was higher there, and I said, dude, do I look like a person who does drugs? And mind you, I'm old now.
Mm-hmm.
And him asking me all these weird questions. If I had, like, a dispensary, if I had something. I said, dude, I'm out of that life. And by the way, he didn't last very long.
Yeah.
He quit the job, and there was another guy who was an alcohol. He was an alky through and through, man. It was like weird seeing him work, because he will make this dance moves. I said, dude, what the hell is wrong with you?
What's going on?
And then I told him, dude, you're drunk. Oh no, dude, I'm not. But you could smell.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, and how can you work? And how can they allow? That's a way. That's a place we work.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny. But yeah, I don't want to just dissipate on the fact that you have your show. But do you find that on your guests? Do you find that loneliness, because people don't address that a lot in people? Do you find like they are torture souls, or do you feel that they're happy?
Some are. Some of them are so sucked into who they are, they don't even know if they feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like, there's a lot of people that are a little disillusioned, but a lot of these people, I'll say one thing, and this is a generalization about most musicians.
Yeah.
Most musicians are some of the most insecure people I've ever met. Ever met. And the thing is the way they're insecure is very different. The way they are insecure is it's more of a lash out type of, like, fuck you. What do you know about my music? When in reality, it's like, then they go home and they're like, damn, he really didn't like my fucking song. What the fuck am I gonna do? What is, like, blah 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 blah. And and everybody feels that way. I'm not the only person on the planet that is missed by depression. You know what I'm saying? That it hits me hard as fuck too.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of these guys. Yeah, there's definitely some tortured souls. There's definitely some people that, they know they're on the path of what they want, but the thing is like they don't even really believe in themselves.
Oh wow! And you have picked that up before the actual recording of whatever you do happens, or
before and after? Yeah.
Oh, so it doesn't happen at the actual recording. It happens after and before. And
a lot of people turn on
just for the sake of the show.
For the sake of the show, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that are really cool and stuff like that, but then, like, when you really start getting to the core of the people, and here's one thing about me: I'm a very observant person. I'm observant of body language. I'm observant of the way people say things. I'm observant of the way people look when they say things, and I'm observant of the delivery of how they say things. And you can tell when somebody isn't confident about the way they say something. And you can tell when somebody is unsure of themselves. And a lot of feelings I have towards musicians that I see, the feeling that I get from them is a lot of them act like they're so sure of themselves, but they really have no idea.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, that's how I feel. But this is no specific people. Yeah. This is no, like, specific anything like that. And this is just a portion of them really are people that just want to be heard. And you know what I'm saying?
You feel like in some of them there is a need for them to do what they're doing, but in some of them they have missed the totality of what they're doing. They don't do it with a they don't. How can I put this?
Well,
they don't.
I think I know what you're saying. I know people that have come on my show, and the only reason they're doing music is to become famous, not because they love music.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? I know that for a fact. I'm not going to say who, but I'll tell you after.
Oh,
you know what I'm
wow.
saying? Like, there's not everybody there has we try to pick people that have, like, the undying passion for music, and there's a lot of people, like, that have it. But there's been a handful episodes. I'm not going to say all of them. There's been a handful of episodes where the people we've talked to, it's not about the music. It's about the image and where it could take them.
Yeah.
and that's a farce.
Yeah, because I just listened to an interview on YouTube. On YouTube, I'm a YouTube junkie. So and there was a moment where somebody said about this, like somebody said something about um the musical aspect. You can be your music, and it can also retract to the personality of the person who is creating the music, because
Yeah.
you can have shitty music, but if you're a nice person to the ones who are actually there. I remember you said earlier about this guy who the Shades do the what's his name, the one who's signing deals and
Oh, with Jerry Robinson.
yeah, that one. You mentioned about the 400 people
Mm-hmm.
instead of, okay, you might have had 16,000 at one point,
Yeah.
but if you have actually 400 people committed,
Yeah.
and if you're not true to yourself outside of what you can do musically, if you are a good person attached to the music that you create, whether it's good or bad,
Yep.
that will go a long way with the 400 people that will always show up for you,
Yeah.
regardless of whether or not your music is good or not.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
and it's like going back to whatever you were saying, like if your image is on point and if you're true to yourself,
Yep.
you're winning. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if you are successful. That's success to me.
Exactly.
So regardless of whether or not you're successful, I think people miss out on not only
they lose the plot.
they lose a plot,
Yeah.
that thing of what music is what music is.
Yeah.
It's an extension of who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also podcasting too. The reason why I'm doing this, because I'm reading a book. I don't know if you heard of Ryan Holiday.
No.
He's actually my same age, and I'm reading his book,
Okay.
Perennial Seller. It's not only about marketing, but he dives into the art form of whatever it is that you do: writing, podcasting, music, as we have spoken about.
Yeah.
It has to be about a need. If you don't have that need of saying something, regardless of whether or not you're successful, whatever, monetarily or whatever, then you're not doing it for me as a consumer of whatever you're doing. Because if you forget about the money that you're making, it's about, there has to be a need in that voice.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't have it, man, the ones who are interviewing you, they can pick up every single thing that you're saying.
Oh yeah.
And then to them, somebody who's as observant as you are, will pick it up and will honestly not say it out loud, but you can sense it inside of your head.
Oh yeah.
This guy is not genuine enough. And then maybe you will say, I don't think I'm going to invite you. You don't mean to be harsh on them, but you will say, man, I'm not going to invite you again.
If you, if you like, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
But
it's
if
okay.
you ever go back and watch any of our episodes, and you pick one, and it's somebody that you don't think is interesting, keep an eye on me, because you could see me lose interest midway through the interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's not very big, but the thing is you'll see me start forcing it.
Yeah.
I'll just start being like, try to make a joke here. Me forcing that is me literally saying, this isn't interesting enough, or this guy is a fucking phony, and I have to turn this into a good content, because that's what it is. We're a consumer-based type of thing, so it's like the content really is, what drives it. So it's like, you'll see me literally in the middle be like, all right, now I got to start cracking jokes.
Yeah, cracking jokes so I can make the interview so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But you're a good actor, because I don't see it. That's the thing. I don't see it. I said, well, Alan is just picking up something on the table.
Yeah.
And, okay, this is part of what he does when he's interviewing someone while being recorded. But because you're so natural, and that, like I said right now, you're a very good actor on it, because I never pick up on it. Maybe I'm that naive, maybe.
Not even so much naive. It's just the fact of it's like I wanted to hide it.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
Thank you for clearing that up, because I wasn't noticing.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I always thought, damn, man, okay, it's a good interview. You know who I was so, like, not... There was this guy who had a phone on him, and he was saying, well, I'm getting this calls from this label. He was working with Ebro, and Hip Hop Mike. Yeah, that guy, and that rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because maybe I didn't like the guy.
Mhm.
Maybe because that
I understand.
I said, dude, I don't give a, a flying f who
Yeah.
you're talking to.
Yeah.
Just engage on. Oh, I got interrupted. Like big
Yeah.
fucking deal. I don't
Yeah.
care about that crap.
Yeah,
Tell me who you are, what you have done, and then I'm going inside of my head. Maybe this guy haven't. I didn't feel like he was honest. He was just purely fakely just saying whatever he was saying just to look good. I thought.
He was one of those people that he knew he was bigger than us.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
got.
yeah.
Sorry if I'm touching.
No,
you,
that's all right. Don't worry.
that's what I got from it.
Yeah.
You said you fucking douche.
Yeah.
I'm cursing, so I don't
No,
give a.
don't worry. Yeah.
You fucking douche. You think you're big. Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah.
Thank you for clearing my own thought
Mhm.
because you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
They're taking time
Yeah.
of their show to put you on, and then you're belittling them with saying that you're getting calls from some
Yeah.
from
From a label.
from a
or
label
something.
or something.
Yeah, I think he was talking about specifically his artist that he manages, Live Like Davis.
Which I'll tell you this, he's absolutely lying. Because I bet you Ebro doesn't even remember him.
Oh yeah.
I think because I work with him. Or no, this was this other host. Not Ebro. It's the other one he has.
Oh,
on.
Paul Rosenberg.
Paul Rosenberg.
Mhm.
I'll tell you I can bet on my grandmother's memory that probably Rosenberg doesn't remember him.
Yeah.
Probably. He was probably like an intern of some kind, and maybe if he's listening and he sees me out there, I don't care, man.
Yeah.
I don't mind the interpersonal conflict,
Yeah.
but which I'm not looking forward to, but I'll say it, man. You were phony, dude. I mean, it's just terrible. I mean, you felt a lot bigger than they were, and they were so modest in having you on their show.
Yeah.
Have a little respect and
Yeah.
don't do that crazy
No,
crap.
yeah, I appreciate you feeling that way.
Yeah.
You want me to give you a little bit of insight? My
Yeah.
least favorite interview I've ever done. I'll
Oh,
tell you.
On the show?
Yeah,
You want to put it out
I'll
there?
put it out there because I know she's never gonna listen to it.
It-
So
it-
I'll never give her the opportunity to listen to this what we're having here
yeah.
because she doesn't follow me. I don't follow her, and
Oh.
I don't want her to know anything that I do.
Yeah.
Is Mars is a girl?
Oh, was that the one with the kind of male voice or something?
No, that was you talking about one that had like the crazy setup? No, Mars is a girl she's from Queens.
Yeah.
And she is a weird, like, dark pop girl. Like, she wants to be Billie Eilish, but she could never. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And Christian just kind of told me about it. I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's do an interview. And then I listened to her music the day of, because I was just so uninterested. I
Yeah.
listened to her music the day of, and I was like, dude, Christian, we can't do this.
Oh,
Like, we can't do this. Her music's so bad.
yeah.
She's so not interesting. And he's like, she's already coming here on the train. She'll be here in like 15 minutes. And it was my fault
Yeah.
for delaying it for so long.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And I got there and I was like, yo, hopefully she's not here, or hopefully before she gets there. And he ended up going to pick her up at the train station because she asked. And I got there and I didn't
Already having
Yeah.
special treatment.
I was going there
Mm-hmm.
to tell Christian he was going to have to do it by himself.
Oh,
Because I wasn't
my-
going to interview her.
Wow.
Yeah. And I walk up the staircase to the studio. The door
Mhm.
was open. I look inside.
Mm-hmm.
I see him and her sitting there. I
Mhm.
didn't think she was going to be there yet, but I didn't know he went and got her because she asked to be picked up, and he was like, yeah, fuck it. You know, the train station's very close to us,
Yeah.
so it's not an inconvenience. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It was one of those things where it wouldn't be an inconvenience. So
Yeah.
I don't think he went above and beyond. It wasn't that
Yeah.
above and beyond.
Yeah.
And I walked up. I see both of them sitting there. I
Mhm.
turned to the left, and I said, I'm going to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. I sit in the bathroom for about 10 minutes, and I
Yeah.
just write 5 questions as fast as I possibly could.
Just so you can be able to be right next to Christian, but at the same time start things up for him to
Yeah.
take over.
Yeah.
Because I think I saw it, and I don't think you were talking to a lot.
No.
Yeah. I remember you were not speaking on that episode.
Yeah.
So that's what it was.
Yeah. I did not want to be there. I didn't want to interview her. I didn't respect her music. I didn't respect her.
Wow.
Yeah.
As a, wait, so this is very so direct, but as a person or as an artist? Because there's a difference.
Remember how you're talking about young kids?
Yeah.
The young kid vibe. Even though I was 23, 24 at the time, whatever
Yeah.
it was.
She was like
she was
17.
She
Yeah.
was 20. I think.
Oh wow.
She was a dummy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you know what I
wow.
mean? And very, very paper thin. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
my gosh.
So I literally went there. I seen them. We were sitting there. I'm like, fuck, I can't tell Christian I don't want to do this because
Mhm.
she's there. This will be awkward. I just showed up. I'm going to show up and leave. So I
Mhm.
went in there out of courtesy. I went into the bathroom, wrote down 5 questions, went in there and said, let's fucking start.
Wow.
Yep.
And that shows a lot of professionalism in you because
I did the best I could.
yeah, you were not in the mood of recording that interview.
I was so disappointed when I listened to her music.
Oh wow.
Sorry,
Yeah.
excuse
No,
me.
it's okay.
I was so disappointed, and I was so disappointed to the point where I had to call him and tell her don't show up.
Wow.
Yeah.
But even you telling him, did he invited her or or was she already invited?
You want to hear something funny? Yeah, she was invited, and the thing is
Mhm.
that I just didn't listen to her music right away. I don't know what it was. I don't know
Mhm.
what about it said don't be as interested. I don't know what it was.
No.
I don't know.
No.
But I was fucking right in my own mind, like I felt. And fuck, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I don't know what it was. And the thing is she was there,
Mhm.
and then he wanted to have. Okay, we had like 7 or 8 dudes on the show in a row,
Mhm.
and he wanted to start breaking it up and show that we're not like a sexist type of
Mhm.
thing. We want all girls and guys and
Mhm.
all races and anything that
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying. Do we
Yeah.
want to seem like we're all inclusive?
Yeah.
So he wanted to have another female on the show,
Yeah.
which I totally got. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You want people to watch this show, and then if females see the show that are talented artists, they might not be as inclined to reach out because they might think, oh, they're only interviewing male rap artists.
Yeah.
When that's not the case. We want anybody.
Yeah.
And then, like, shout-outs to Emmy Pellegrino, who is a very
Oh
talented...
yeah, the guitarist.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Unreal.
I listen to her music. She's dope.
Yeah, she won Best Vocalist on Long Island.
Yeah.
Well
You
deserved.
you mentioned
Well
that.
deserved.
Shout outs to her.
Shout out to her. Emmy Pellegrino,
Mhm.
fucking the tattoo art Lauren, the tattoo artist.
Yeah. I
Um,
listen.
She was so cool. Her and her boyfriend were so cool.
Yeah, they're very cool.
Yeah. Oh, Jules
Mhm.
Walcott.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to all of them, and to
Yeah.
anybody who I didn't mention, I feel the same way about
Yeah.
them as well. It's just not you, Mars, as a girl. You know what I'm saying? No offense, but it's just like we interviewed such an untalented person on a thing that was budding to the point where I was just like, we're gonna just cut our fucking credibility right now already. Like interviewing
Wow.
this type of person.
And you were only so many
Episodes.
so many episodes in
Yeah.
that you didn't have not only you guys were not only you guys didn't have the experience of having a tough moment,
Yeah.
but you guys were not so deep in episodes
Yeah.
to understand the animal of the whole game of what it is to interview people.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you have gone through this, not only with the stories you just already told me, but you have gone through moments where, man, I don't feel like interviewing this person. And
Yeah.
is it going to be like an interesting interview?
Mhm.
Am I going to be engaged for the amount of minutes or the
Yeah.
hours that I'm going to be interviewing this person?
Yep.
But then again, even if you're not, you have to put on a good face.
Yep.
Write some questions like you did in the bathroom
Yep.
while doing God knows what.
No, I literally walked in there, sat on the sink, and just started typing on my phone.
Yeah.
Literally, I didn't use the sink. I didn't use the toilet.
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't
no.
use
with-
I literally was just in there, and I was thinking, fuck.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
here. They're both here at the same time. Fuck.
yeah.
All right, let me write my notes as fast as I
Yeah,
can.
but it speaks high volumes of who you are as a person because you said you shared not only in truth and honesty with your partner, how do you feel about the artist,
Mhm.
but you were also very thoughtful. Okay, I'm gonna do it for the sake of the interview. If I have to go out in the woods,
Mhm.
I will write something down so he's not only alone in the interview, but I'll ask some questions so he could be
It's not all on him.
it's not all on him.
Exactly.
So that was very thoughtful. I must commend you on that because, like I said to you, I'm sorry if I'm repeating
No,
myself.
I appreciate you saying all the nice things.
Yeah, because I did not know that you was feeling. Because in the interview, like I said, you were a good actor. I didn't know. I swear to you, I do. In all the episodes, you're good on it because I don't notice. I don't
I
notice.
appreciate it.
Like, okay, Alan is feeling not so good or
Yeah.
something. So, I mean,
You'll notice this if
Yeah.
you ever have the chance. I'm not
Mhm.
telling you to watch anything,
yeah.
but if you ever have the opportunity, watch a little bit of the Mars is the Girl one. Watch it,
Yeah,
and then
I have to rewatch it now.
watch that one, and then go watch the Uptown Bodega episode.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Uptown Bodega.
Notice me in both.
So I'll bet I'll see the difference because I remember the Uptown episode, Bodega, Uptown. You were so engaged.
Oh, I loved it.
Oh my God, you were enjoying yourself.
It was so much fun. I didn't even realize I was sitting there for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Turned into an hour of footage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So wait, that was my other question too. Do you guys? How long does it take for a recording in its total form?
We try for an hour, but it always ends up going over.
So you guys go, okay, let's trim it down to an hour, maybe half an hour, or
In about an hour, 45. You know what I'm saying? Hour. Yeah, we trim it down. But the thing is what we trim down and what Christian I know for a fact trims down is just the excess. Maybe a long pause. Maybe if somebody, he makes sure nobody repeats themselves on the same answer something the same way. So it's you're never losing the main focus of any. We're never taking out the main focus ever.
Which is the artist and why they came.
The artist and whatever the question is, their direct answer.
Okay, gotcha.
So it might be if they might have your direct answer.
Yeah.
And then they start going on this tangent of a story on how a kid when they had this little chain or something and this and that, and it's just you know what I'm saying? It's all stuff that takes away from what the actual interview is. And not to say that stuff isn't cool, because we do leave a lot of that stuff in.
Yeah.
It's literally just the stuff where it's all right, we didn't necessarily, nobody has to hear this.
Yeah.
Or maybe sometimes people have gotten too personal and they've called us and said, could you please edit this out?
Oh, okay.
And we've done that too.
Do you guys get messages or calls from people saying, can you edit this out?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's that direct.
Yeah, we actually interviewed this one kid, Berkey, who the episode was never released because he kept asking us to edit so much shit out, and then he was like, can we just redo it? And we're just kind of like, you missed your fucking shot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You guys were blunt?
Yeah,
I
was. Yeah.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, and Christian was too. He was kind of just like, dude, this ain't it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's we did the interview. This is the interview. Do you want to do it or not?
Yeah.
No? Great. You know what I'm
so
saying?
you guys deleted the file and everything?
Yeah. That I believe Christian's the type of guy who saves stuff, but if there was an episode to delete, that was probably it.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Man.
But it was the thing is, no offense to him for us not coming together and it actually working, but it was a pretty interesting interview.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst. It was like a middle of the road interview.
Yeah.
Where it was engaging. Maybe there's some things I didn't give too much of a crap about, but it's just it was all right. It wasn't terrible. So, unfortunately, Berkey, you lost out, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
And to redo that all over again. It's like
to redo it.
Oh, man, that's crazy. And also, it's like your guys' thought of, okay, let's move forward.
Yes.
There's no need for us to go back and redo the whole thing.
Keep it fucking pushing.
Yeah, keep it fucking pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Do you have any questions for me? Or I feel like I'm interviewing you.
No, I appreciate
you do such a good job in interviewing people. I feel like left out if you don't if you don't ask me anything.
I came here just to have an open dialogue. And I appreciate the fact that you even thought of questions. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just ready to have a conversation. And the fact that
we did, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. No, this has been great. I don't know how long it's been, but it's 3 o'clock.
It's been 2 hours.
Holy smokes, I'm killing your fucking tape over here,
No,
man.
it's so cool,
Holy
man.
shit. Good luck editing this. Holy
Trust me. Everything, by the way, is staying in.
Oh, my gosh.
So anybody listening, please hold on tight to your seats or whatever you get your podcast on, whatever you get it from. You're going to listen to a long and interesting conversation.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no. Everything's staying. If you want to end it.
No, dude, that's up to you. You drive your interview, but I just want to say thanks.
Thank you for doing it.
If we were, dude, it's 2 hours. I want to wrap it up for you. I'm feeling bad for you now.
No, not at all. This is actually fun. We could go on and on and on, but I feel like I'm holding you too.
No, you're not really holding me. Just because my phone's fucking vibrating because these clowns won't leave. It's funny. I just want to tell everybody that I know, you guys never text me when I'm not doing anything.
And it's always when you're doing
Dude,
something when they actually need you the most.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I was doing nothing yesterday.
And you could have called me
you know
yesterday
what I'm saying?
or anything.
Well, no, I was doing a little bit of stuff, but I was, for a good portion of the nighttime, I was doing nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything.
Yeah.
fuck you. But it's like,
Yeah.
leave it to me on a microphone talking with somebody, trying to have an interesting conversation. I get 2 phone calls, 12 text messages, 13 fucking Snapchat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
All of a sudden,
Like,
I'm
and that goes to me. Remember when I was telling you, some days I have nothing, and then
Yeah.
the next day my Instagram's going crazy. That was my friend calling me off Instagram. My other friend sending me messages. It's all Instagram shit.
Yeah.
It's like, pick a fucking day just so I can be ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just so I have
Yeah.
all right, Tuesday's the days everyone wants to send me
Tuesday.
messages. All right, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, come on now. But it's always, dude, I'm telling you, I've been in the middle of an interview. And
Yeah.
my phone, like, my friend just keeps fucking calling me.
Yeah.
And calling me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I keep my questions on my phone.
Yeah.
So keep, like, because towards in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
I used to write the questions on the phone and keep them in
Yeah.
front of me, and then towards the end, I just create questions in my head and set them.
Yeah.
So
for
it's
sure.
like,
You know that I don't know how you feel about this because in some ways I don't actually plan things out when
Mhm.
I'm about to do one of these episodes. So I wanted to feel not only as an open dialogue where you can share thoughts
I appreciate
of life itself about your own life.
Yeah.
It's just also an open dialogue about everything that surrounds us and everything that is happening
it. Yeah.
right now. So it doesn't feel contrite and it doesn't feel like the other person it's not allowed to share whatever he needs or
Mhm.
he or she needs to say.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I hope you have felt
No,
you
this
know,
has been very open.
very
and,
open.
And I love it. And
Which, because I'm also so interested about your show. I could have asked you so many more questions.
Hey, if you ever want to do an episode 2, let me know. You
On
know,
your show?
An episode, yeah. I could, you know what I could do one day?
Yeah.
One day I can go live on Instagram because I don't have the physical camera.
Yeah.
But I can go. You have Instagram, so we can go
Yeah.
live on Instagram and have a dialogue on Instagram live.
Oh my
one day.
God,
You
that
know
would
what
be
I'm saying?
awesome.
Some
And
shit
thank
like-
you for having me on your page.
Yeah,
if you do.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is all future stuff. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
But also too, and also if you want to recap on your show with me again and have like a little something, feel free to hit me up. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
You
God,
know,
yeah, I
whatever
would
you
love
want,
to have you on.
whatever you
man.
want to do.
Again.
But yeah, because I wish I had a fucking camera, dude.
Yeah.
God damn it. It's
Yeah.
just, you know what I'm saying? Shit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
The-
But
the-
you'll have it. I think
Yeah.
cameras are not that expensive.
No, yeah,
anymore.
it's just I want you know what's funny is you can get a camera, but it's hard to find one that can record for as long as we want it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's one
Because
of
they only give you with the memory card a certain amount of
a
time.
certain window, and then the memory card. The thing is, one time we did that, and then we bought like a 70 gig memory card, and the thing is the camera still would shut off after 7 minutes of recording.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it would still be like you have to constantly do it. It's like, what the
Yeah,
fuck,
and
man?
it will stop the flow if
Yeah,
you're on interview.
exactly.
Oh
So-
man.
But that's all right. You know what I'm saying? But we
Mhm.
could always do an open dialogue on Instagram Live or fucking.
Mhm.
If anything, if you ever post anything visual to what you're doing now,
Yeah.
I could support it on my page as well. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
thank you.
And
thank
I'll also, when this comes out, I'll share it. You know
Oh,
what I'm
for
saying? You know
sure.
what I
Thank
mean?
you for
And
doing
yeah,
so.
just make sure I don't mean to talk in business, but just give me the exact link and I'll copy and post it. Or
Yeah.
whatever,
No,
you know
no,
what
no. Actually,
Yeah.
speaking of business, just if you want to say where they can reach you on
Oh,
on
yeah,
Instagram,
absolutely.
Facebook, all the social media.
So if
outlets.
anybody's interested in contacting me personally, my Instagram is Alan_Shepard_Jr. That's my personal Instagram. But if you want to find me on Instagram for my page, which is where I really hope everybody follows me at,
Mm-hmm.
it's Li on the rise, Li_on_the_rise, and then
Yeah.
_reviews,
Yeah.
because we're turning into a review thing. But that's going to be in the near future. But Li on the rise reviews on YouTube. It's just Li on the rise.
Please and do watch it. Please.
Thank you. I appreciate
It's
it.
good. It's good content.
Yeah,
So,
we try our best.
yeah.
So that's all you need to know. If
Mm.
you're interested in watching people trying their best, just don't watch the Mars is a Girl episode, and everything else will be perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? Even though now that I said that, that's gonna be the first one everybody fucking goes to. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
hey, you know,
Just to watch you fall and
yeah,
crumble.
exactly.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
don't be praying on my downfall, because the next episode's a heater. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
throwing it up
Bang,
there.
bang.
Bang, bang.
But yeah, no, just if you want to follow me, please. I'm always open. If I
Mhm.
don't respond to your message right away, my fucking bad. I will get back to you. And the Li on the Rise page is not necessarily the greatest thing to hit me up on, because we get so many messages.
Yeah.
So
I bet.
if you want to message me, try my personal. If you get me on a day where I get 19 fucking messages from everybody that I don't know and don't care about, sorry, but I
Mhm.
did turn post notifications on, so I will be seeing it eventually.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
cool.
So it's like
Cool,
it's one
man.
of those things, dude. It's
Thank-
fucking. I appreciate you for having me, man. And
You
I'm
know.
sorry I wasted 2 hours of your fucking time.
No,
and
no,
I
no,
know
it's
it wasn't a waste. I'm
no,
just
it
messing
wasn't.
around,
It
but-
wasn't a waste. It
but,
was a
you know,
delight.
This was a good experience. It was nice just talking.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you having this open dialogue.
Yeah, and thank you for allowing me to record it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Come on now. That's what we're all here for, right?
Yeah, thank you, and see you back at work tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm
Jeffrey,
unfortunate.
man, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. You too,
Absolutely,
man.
man.
Thank you.
Put her there.
Yeah.